Everyone, Steve here, and we are back with Snowbreak. So, before we get started, you guys remember the one Nikkei streamer did where GN did not have her voice lines? Yeah. We have some unfortunate news. Wakana Yamazaki, who voiced GN, sadly passed away last month. The news did not reach out up until now, or a couple days ago, so yeah. She's also known for Arukennimon from Digimon, Ayane from Dead or Alive, and Ran Mori from Detective Conan, or Case Closed. I did not know she voiced all those up until I just found out, so may she rest in peace, and condolences to her friends, families, and colleagues. And also, happy birthday to Chris Aries, who fortunately I mentioned before, lost the battle against cancer like a year or two ago. I can't remember. I know it's been a while, but yeah. And yeah, so a bit of a follow-up from the last stream, and a bit of an interesting turn of events. So for those who are just watching, if we can point out that there's mods or whatnot, because, well, what the game is in the current state? Yeah, I mean, yes, I'm aware there are mods, but the reason why I haven't done that, well, for those who just tuned in, from what I've read, the staff are still working on getting things back together. Apparently they're switching servers or whatnot, or moving, and I have no idea. So, and two, there is a potential of getting banned, which, while it hasn't happened yet, can't exactly guarantee that you may not get. Doesn't guarantee that you will or will not get banned. So, I'm gonna hold off on the mods up until, say, next month, so give the staffers a couple more weeks or so. Alright, so anyways, I'm gonna get my control first. Alright. So, now we got that out of the way, and let's... Oh yeah, I haven't made progress on the latest chapter. I will at some point, but that's not what we're here for now. We still have to go through the legacy story, so we just finished the Containment Zone story. They're all 3 parts of it, and now we just have to get through yours, which is about 2 more chapters to go. And then we got Yuentiro and Shuzo. Let's see here. Actually, I want to see something for a minute. Let's see here. I'm gonna go over the calendar for a moment. So we're doing part 1, part 2, and Yuentiro. Okay, so June 6th, we're just gonna start chapter 13, which is the suspense in Skytopia. And let's see here. Operation Midnight 13th. Huh. We may finish the legacy stories by June. Huh. Interesting. But, let's not waste any time. Yep. This isn't like the last one where you have to move the camera and shit, so... Alright. Let's get right to it. It was a dreary winter afternoon. There was a single figure in the empty office, her back to the seat as she gazed through the floor-to-ceiling windows at the lifeless streets below. Her back and neck were straight as an arrow, her chin slightly tucked in. She had maintained this posture for several years, cold, tough, and blunt. Those traits were obvious to the others. On one hand, she always accomplished what she wanted. On the other hand, maybe someone should ask her about Maybe someone should ask her about her sore shoulders and her tightly furrowed brow. Alright, I just need to move the mouse, but yeah. The train will be arriving at Northwind Aerospace Center in 2 hours. A representative from Bartenty Priber will be there to receive us. Ichel's conditions is pretty good. She's doing better than expected. Please don't worry. We'll ensure a smooth and safe handoff to Duchess Orlava. Are you listening, Director Tao? That clear voice sounded from the communicator like the chirps of a robin. She liked that voice not long ago. It had brought happiness and coaxed a rare smile out of her. But this time, the voice, although not exactly displeasing, inevitably generated some unpleasantness for her. After being shot by Levatin's squad, the girl that Tao had herself raised into a formidable operative was no longer under her control. A rift had formed between them. Where's Steven? I don't know where's me. The adjutant is with Ichel. It seems like she really likes him. She only wants to be around him. Heh, what a surprise. I actually applied with the adjutant. I actually applied with the adjutant to become be the one to contact you. After we handle everything here, I want to talk to you after I get back to the company. All right, what do you want to talk about? Never mind, it's nothing. Let's just stick to business. I'll give you a mission report on Oswald Street Mill as normal. Ji Chenxing and Cirrus already gave me reports. You've all done a great job getting results. Tell him he doesn't need to avoid me, and he has to be more careful moving forward. Northwind Aerospace Center is the most complex region in years. Okay. Northwind's Aerospace Center is the most complex region in the years. The Kawarna faction takes a very aggressive approach in the area. They might not adhere to the various treaties between the military and Yggdrasil. That guy you ran into, Millwood, was a member of Kawarna. His refugee resettlement committee is incredibly powerful, so you'll need to be careful. Levatin operatives are already in the combat area. According to the intel, Northwind Aerospace Center is controlling all communications and blocking information. And make use of Alarma and figure out a way to get rid of the tree into Containment Zone 91. I was proved wrong. The frigid wind bit at my neck, wrist, and frigid wind bit at my neck, wrists, waist, ankles, anywhere I could encroach. I couldn't help but grit my teeth to refrain from shivering all over. Oh god, it's so fucking freezing! I'm so glad we don't have to do this a few months ago. Okay, all jokingly aside, the platform was practically deserted at dusk bell. The structure was a brutalish style common across Eurus. It looked like an icy monster under the dark sky. And Haru, the girl next to me, and I look at the... And I look like it's 3-course meal. Ichil Gustav. I silently recite her name to myself. My gaze fixed on her as I was lost in thought. Thin clothes were draped over her frail figure, and she stared at something with wide eyes. Are you okay? I took that ambiguous nasal sound as responsive and saw it as it progressed over the last few hours. I don't even know how it spent trying to communicate with her before the train arrived. Tess had told me about some of Ichil's past, but it was clear she'd suffered from far more than Dad. There was nothing wrong with her mind, but it seemed that her language skills were stunted at the level of a child. People from Bartensi Priber are late. Adjutant, why don't you take Ichil back to the carriage and wait there? It's too cold out here. It's fine by me. Staying there wouldn't do us any good, and I was worried about Ichil freezing to death dressed like Dad. Nuh-uh, I don't wanna. Here's a fun fact. Ichil, believe it or not, happens to be voiced by Emu from Project Sakai, aka Hatsune Miku Colorful Stage. Yeah, let that sink in. From one little girl to another little girl, even though Ichil's the legal age. Yeah. Before I put my hand on her shoulders, Before I put my hand on her shoulder, the little girl straightened up as she spoke. Her brazen tone caught me off guard, but Haru couldn't help but laugh softly as she stood off to the side. It smells in there! It's yucky! She was referring to the lingering stench of blood in the carriage coming from Millwood and his men. Okay, yeah, I can't blame her for that remark. Comfort Ichil or shield Ichil from the cold. Gotta do a heads or tails on that one. Alright, guess we're accompanying Ichil. I pulled the prop for a match check out of my breast pocket. After covering it with my hand, a bouquet of flowers toys suddenly appeared before her eyes. Tess had taught me this trick on the train, and Ichil seemed to love it. You're going to get sick if you stand out here. I'm not cold, and there's something bad staring at me over there. I don't want it to win. Her response shocked me. As soon as she finished talking, I immediately whipped my head around to look at the direction she indicated. Haru was also on alert right away. Oh shit. But soon after, my and Haru's anxiety turned to doubt. There was no danger in the little girl's line of sight. Instead, there was only a large building and a few tall, vague structures that looked like towers. What is that place? I'm not sure. We don't have a ton of intel on Northwind Aerospace Center. That's the Suzdal! Ah, whoa! That's the Suzdal launch base. It was the most renowned site for aerospace. Oh, shit. We should have fixed it, didn't have to go this fast, didn't it? It was the most renowned site for aerospace tech research during the former Eurus Federation. It's also the only military facility under Bartensi Priber's control. It's at the center of the Containment Zone 91, and the tree we have to handle is in there. Tess stumbled out of the carriage, bounded over to Ichil, and reached out to pinch her cheek. The startled little girl let out a dissatisfied dissatisfied yelp and jumped behind me. I reached out and grabbed Ichiro's arm without thinking. What's going on? The moment I had my hand made contact with Ichiro's arm, a depressing sensation of stifling heaviness immediately overcame me. Starting with my scalp, the sensation followed my neural network to spread. Ooh, jeez. The sensation followed my neural network to spread throughout my entire body. In the next second, an intense burning sensation engulfed my heart, and all of my muscles stiffened as they had frozen. Then I saw something that no one should ever have to see. Restore its glory. Seize, usurp, resurrect. The Federation will forever be one. In warped brilliance, I saw countless Earth citizens marching toward the tree. They approached it, embraced it, then became one with it. Come, Steven. Join Valhalla. Adjutant? Adjutant, what's wrong? The strange, distorted sensation disappeared in the blink of an eye. When I stepped back to reality, I was kneeling down, and Tess and Haru were staring at me with worry in their gazes. Ichigo pulled her arm away, looking at me with alert and fearful eyes as she slowly stepped back. Ichigo, don't be afraid, come back. There seemed to be a problem with the language production in my central nervous system. Even saying a few simple words took an immense amount of effort. It's the bad stuff. It's always been there. You keep telling me to go there, but I won't. You can't go either. Yeah, whatever the bad stuff is, I know that can't be good. Before I even parsed with what Ichigo was mumbling about, Haru suddenly stood up right in front of me and glanced toward the platform exit. It looks like someone from Bartensi Priber? Apologies, Adjutant. I got held up on the way. I'm Duchess Orlava's assistant. She instructed me to come here. Are you okay? Tessa parted my arm, helping me stand up slowly. I'm alright. Are you the only one who came? Please forgive us. Bartensi Priber doesn't mean any disrespect whatsoever. The situation at Northwind Aerospace is unique. So it's a bit difficult for us to spare more employees to welcome you now. That's not what I'm worried about. I just thought Duchess Orlava would be more concerned with Ichigo's safety. The Duchess cared deeply about the safety of everyone in your party. Please don't worry. As for the local forces stationed here, I know the Kawarne faction has caused you and your operatives a lot of trouble, but Kawarne's influence in Northwind Aerospace Center is mostly concentrated in Containment Zone 91. The train station at Orlov Mansion and sections of the Free Streets are not under their control. So please don't worry and follow me. Orlava's assistant was courteous and genuine. He was seemingly desperate to prove that Bartensi Priber, the company headed by the Duchess, was completely safe and friendly. But I couldn't shake the unrest I was feeling. I remember what Tao had said to me before I left Jaegersoul headquarters. Give gifts, make friends. But could they really be our friends? Oh look, it's a masquerade party. I didn't necessarily have any expectations for what we would find in Orlov Mansion, but as I stepped through the grand doors, I almost failed to mask my surprise at the scene before us. Huh? What? Nani? What's going on here? Alcohol flowed as... Oh, shit. Alcohol flowed as music and conversation mixed together in disarray. Noble men and women donned masks in the mansion's incredible luxurious ballroom, their bodies frantically yet elegantly prancing together in pairs. The Duchess' assistant remained calm as he led us in, but the two Heimdall operatives behind me had already begun gritting their teeth. Hang in there, Ichigo. We'll get out of here soon. Tess pulled Ichigo close, covering the impulsive girl's eyes with her hand to prevent her from causing any trouble. I glared at the assistant as I tried hard to keep my tone cordial. Wow, we are unworthy of such a spectacular show, or where's Duchess Orlava? I'm gonna do another coin toss on that one. Alright, going tails then. Alright. Please don't fret, Adjutant! Look at you and your operatives aren't used to stuff like this. It's not what we're not used to. It's that we don't approve. We saw plenty of impoverished refugees outside of our way here. It's like a different world in here. The Duchess put a great deal of effort on arranging this ball. I ask that you look past the ostentatious appearance for now. The Duchess is waiting for you all in the parlor on the second floor. If you don't mind, we should get moving. Perhaps the assistant finally learned how to read the room, because we... shit. Perhaps the assistant finally learned how to read the room, because he walked in front of us to lead the way. But before I could take a step to follow along, a sudden commotion sounded from the ballroom. A beautiful woman in stunning clothes sauntered down the steps in the back of the ballroom. With a soft smile, she drew all of the attention of the dancing crowd in an instant. Just as intense as Klein, blue hue of her gown began to hurt my eyes. My gaze met hers. I read her lips as they opened and closed gently. Got you, Heimdall Adjutant. If you don't want to die, run. Before the guest could follow her gaze and discover me, Haru and Tess pushed me out of the ballroom. We were suddenly in the hallway on the 6th floor of the mansion, waiting for Duchess Orlava to meet with us. The woman in the ballroom just now. Why do I feel like seeing her somewhere before? Huh? Is she an old friend? Oh. I think I have an idea who, but we'll get her once she appears. No, I just feel like she's dangerous. A sense of danger that I've felt somewhere else. That woman knows me. She just greeted me silently through the crowd. And you should have fought us during a past mission. Yes. We all have. Well, me and Haru have before. Do you need me to watch her? There's no need for distractions. Let's see what Duchess Orlava has to say first. The people in the room are coming out. Though she had been silent since we entered the mansion, Ichil suddenly spoke, her statement catching my attention. She was staring at the room down the hallway when the door opened. We meet at last, Adjutant. We have a lot to talk about, but I unfortunately have to postpone our meeting for now. Please, wait for a bit in the parlor with your operatives. As for Ichil, I'll take her now. Wait. I stood between the tall woman and Ichil, staring her down and acting right away to put a stop to her unreasonable behavior. My superiors sent me here to hand Ichil over to you, but I won't allow you to be so hasty. Before I finished my sentence, Haru and Tess already pulled Ichil aside to protect her. The woman standing before me frowned. After staring at me for a moment, she suddenly leaned in. Director Tao and I are partners, and you're Director Tao's right-hand man. She secretly sent you here to protect you, so I can't just expose you to danger. The mansion is at risk of being infiltrated. I'm about to smoke out the rats, and you need to keep a low profile, seeing as you shouldn't be here. A sweet fragrance enveloped me along with the words she spat in my ear. However, her sudden point of behavior calmed me down and cleared my head. Can I help? The words came out of my mouth were more than she could expected. Astonished, she staggered backward and examined my face carefully. Ichil isn't ordinary. She's a manifestation, even though Tao ordered me to hand her over to you. As adjutant of the Hanbo Force, I have a responsibility to confirm some basics before officially handing her over. I understand. No wonder Tao values you so much. You don't actually want to help me. You just want to make sure the child is safe. Alright, then follow me. Let's see what the Hanbo Force can do. Okay, so... Extravagance. Oh, we're stuck with her. Stuck with Tess. And we'll get to her once we achieve here something. Obviously, I had her from the get-go. Well, way before I started streaming this, but yeah, still. Oh shit, it's the stealth mission.
こいつら一体どこからバレンツ機器の制服まで来ている。なんか
変です。あんなに厳重なセキュリティでどうやって紛れ込んだんだろう。それとも他の誰かが。
詮索は後だ。一つ一つ片付けるぞ。
目標達成。ビューンってね。
I'm just gonna continue to keep yourself hidden. Okay, yeah, I think this is a good time to bring Katya.
Warming up の時間だ。
Ah, shit. Target discovery, make sure it keeps...
大丈夫だ。リラックスしてもう一回やろう。慎重に。チャンスを逃しても気長に待てばいい。絶対に見つからないように気をつけろ。
Okay. There we go.
目標達成。ビューンってね。
I think you can use those. Come on. Ah, shit. Alright.
大丈夫だ。リラックスしてもう一回やろう。
Okay.
慎重に。
Well, the good thing is I got all the objectives, so I'm not too worried, so...
絶対に見つからないように気をつけろ。
目標達成。ビューンってね。暗号化もできないの？
Okay.
ハルさん、この先はやっぱり強行突破しかないよ。
全部片付けろ。早く。
Alright. Now the stealth stuff's over. Alright.
ハルさん、分かったよ。彼らは全員ウワルナステーダーの兵士だ。
軍の過激派。また何か企んでいるのか。ここは危険だ。テス、隙を見て分析員を連れてここから逃げてくれ。
せビューンってね
Okay, there we go.
矜持は持たない。さあ次へ行くぞ。
Sadly, that's not the only stealth mission left. God, so. With the infiltration of her mansion taken care of the time being. Oh, shit. With the infiltration of her mansion taken care of for the time being, Duchess Orlava had us wait in the parlor on the second room floor. Then she asked me to meet her in the ballroom personally to show me something. Ichigo was sleeping deeply due to her exhaustion and nervousness. I intended for both Haru and Tess to stay behind and take care of her, but before I can even reach the door, they blocked my path. No, we can't be sure there aren't any dangers. There aren't other dangers lurking here. You can't leave our sight, Adjutant. Ichigo is the one who can't leave your sight. Listen to me and stay here with her. I won't be long. Then what? Then why doesn't one of us has to stay here with Ichigo and the other goes with you? Our Adjutant Haru is right. You shouldn't. What did Tal tell you when you called her? Be careful, right? You completely decked out or down in combat gear. Oh shit. You completely decked out in combat gear. You want to show yourself in public? You were active on the US border for a long time, and the ballroom downstairs is crawling with local nobles with a lot of power. Can you guarantee not a single one will recognize you? Well, alright, to take care of Ichigo, I'm going to play along with Duchess to see what tricks she has up her sleeve. I left their worried gazes behind me as I opened the door and walked out. Your Grace, thank you for everything you've done for my father. It's all thanks to your support that he was able to escape from Cuerno Command without so much as a scratch. I can't even imagine how much my father would have suffered without your help. How's your father doing right now? Is he alright? Yes. He was making a big fuss yesterday about not wanting to handle government affairs anymore. He said he doesn't want to be caught in the middle of things again. He also said he wants to find a new passionate relationship while he's still healthy. Your Grace, how can someone so old still... Alright. Seeing he's still interested in things like that, it means his physical and mental health are both doing well. He will definitely live a long life. Yeah. He said after working so hard for the old Federation and then the military over all these years, he's done everything for the people of Eurus. He said that he needs to live for himself in the time he has left. He said that he needs to live for himself in the time he has left. And since that tree appeared, everyone's scared. It's better to lay low and enjoy some happiness rather than stand up and do something. Yes, you're right. It's time to relax a bit after working so hard for years his whole life. No wonder he didn't show up today, and even after he accepted my invitation. What a pity. Your Grace? In a secluded corner of the ballroom, I watch as the scene played out before me. The noble girl's gentle smile transformed into a cold sweat. She stood up fiercely, instantly shaking the wine glass in her hand. The liquid danced in the glass like boiling water. Pavlina, look at me. Tell me, the letter that led to your father's near execution by Cuerno Command was actually written by you, correct? Your Grace, The terrified girl could no longer keep a hold of her wine glass, causing the scarlet liquid inside to fall along with it. But before the glass could crash upon the table, Duchess Orlava deftly snatched it out of the air. She stirred the remaining wine in the glass, moving the medical nebulizer in her other hand to her mouth and breathing in deeply. Don't be nervous. I like your style, and I'm glad you could be here in your place of your father. Come. Do you see Arseny over there? I couldn't stop myself from following the Duchess's gaze. A tall, graceful man stood among the crowd as he drank with a group of older people. I remember him. He's related to the former Federation's Minister of Foreign Affairs. He's also the Capital Archduke's son, right? Correct. He's now working as a lobbyist for the Quarne faction, searching for potential investors to support research into Containment Zone 91. Go have a drink with him, Pavlina. Starting now, he shall be your fiancé. Your Grace! But I just had a wedding 2 months ago. You even came! Duchess Lavas didn't say another word, instead just narrowing her eyes and staring at the girl named Pavlina through her lenses. She looked at the menacing fox glaring at the quartered rabbit. After the girl put on a fake smile and walked through the crowd to Arseny and as ordered, the Duchess suddenly tilted her head and shifted her gaze toward me. Of her silent prompt, I followed the Duchess into a quiet hallway at the back of the ballroom. Artyom, please provide a completely quiet and safe environment for me and my distinguished guest. As you wish, Your Grace. She seemingly remembered the name of each and every person who was useful to her, regardless of their position or status. I'm sorry you had to see that, Adjutant. I hope you don't think of me as some sort of evil tyrant. For someone who's really old, yeah, you're kind of borderline. You're getting there, like borderline close to evil. After the guards in Bartensi Priber uniforms had locked the doors outside. Had locked the doors from outside. She walked over and set her trap. I only wanted to smile coldly, but was unable to stop myself from shaking my head. Does someone in such a high position really have to go through so much trouble, or they're all scared of you? That are a good set of choices. Excuse me. Okay, guess we're going to the second option again. It didn't used to be like this. Not long ago, before the tree sprouted up, I didn't have to work so hard, and they didn't have to be scared of me. But things are different now. They're scared of me because they're even more scared of the Quarne faction and Omega. The desire to survive clouds in their heads. They don't even know what to do. Omega. Didn't Tao tell you the same Omega used to be a director at Yggdrasil? He ran back here to Eurus and used his former position to steal away half of my men. So great. Now we have an Omega problem. And you thought Red vs. Blue didn't have the O'Malley/Omega problem during seasons 1 to 5 of the Blood Gulch Chronicles. He's setting out in the Containment Zone 91, working with Quarne, as he occupies the Suzdal launch base of the old Federation. Thanks to them, that tree has practically turned the entire aerospace center into a graveyard. Even the rear region of Eurus occupied by the military, several people have been experiencing strange symptoms that caused by that tree. They even came here just to die. I specifically decided to welcome you today at this very place because I wanted you to see what the nobles and people in the power are. I wanted you to see what the nobles and people in power are like for yourself. You saw how happy those fence sitters in the ballroom outside were, prancing about as they held one another. You're calling them fence sitters, which means you still want to win them over to your side of the conflict. Ah, by using Ichel's identity, right? I'm a pragmatist. I never deliberately pushed him into enemies' grasps unless absolutely necessary. Hand over Ichel, Adjutant, and complete your mission. You help me, I'll help you. Let's work together to find a way for the people of Eurus to survive. Adjutant, where are you? You might need to come back. Ichel is... The judge is almost pressed up against me, but but the sudden call startled her. I used this chance to step back and escape her control. What's wrong with the girl? I don't know, but tell your people to secure the entrances on the second floor. Don't let anyone get near Ichel's room. After saying this, I immediately rushed toward the parlor where Ichel was, praying that nothing else out of my control had happened. You must be joking! After so long and all the manpower, resources, and money I've given you, these are the results you have to show for it? An unnatural light permeated the crumpled lab as the furious man slammed the experimental report in his hand on the table in front of him over and over again. Strange. This child's anatomy is extremely strange. There are several aspects that don't make any sense. Controlled experiments don't work on her whatsoever. Each time I take samples, the results are different. It's simply fascinating. Oh yeah, that's right. It's the scientists that look like Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb. Except Doofenshmirtz is actually entertaining by comparison. But I can't increase the intensity for now. I can't afford to lose her. She has so much potential. We can't just let her die before the potential is realized. No, I don't care whether she lives or dies. I care for myself. All the bodies in this lab are for a single purpose, my purpose, and you know exactly what that is. You don't understand how valuable she is. You're only concerned with your immortality. It's a complete waste. My patient has already run out, Dr. Kent. Don't make me send Cullen Perry the Platypus to kick her ass. Okay, I'm sorry for. I'll stop the Phineas and Ferb jokes, but still. Such low efficiency. These tables, these risks. Enough. Prepare to terminate your experiments on Ichil. But I won't say it again. Destroy everything. As the frail girl slept in the sinister experimental pod, her smooth face gradually turned bitter. There seemed to be a voice deep within her conscience that had been endlessly cursing her for a long time. You're just a string of faulty code. You shouldn't exist. Your existence taints the law of creation. Someone must eradicate you before you infect even more people. You're not a creation. You're simply a virus. You should die. Amidst the frigid, unfeeling damnations, the girl's face grew increasingly twisted. The pain she had endured was indescribable. The imprisonment and inhumane experiments she'd suffered destroyed her. In the deepest part of this nightmarish trauma, she could only find one thing. It was wild as a flame, the freedom of rage. By the time I rushed into the parlor, Tessa and Haru were dripping with sweat and panting as they sat next to Ichil. Holding the bouquet of toy flowers, Ichil blinked at me with an exhausted look on her face. She had another nightmare. Adjutant, I think we need to get Ichil out of the mansion as soon as possible. She needs to be in stable medical environment. Adjutant, we should just tell the Duchess what's going on with Ichil. At a time like this, she needs to help. Ichil, how are you feeling? My eyes hurt. I don't feel good. I reached out to touch her forehead without thinking, but Ichil painstakingly twisted her neck to avoid my touch. No, if you touch me, you'll see the bad stuff. Oh yeah, that's right. My weird ass powers that allows me to see shit through their minds. Ichil had also noticed the possible outcome of physical contact between us two. We were left with no choice but to ask the Duchess for help. Ichil, I'm going to ask that tall woman in the white to come here to take you to a safe place, okay? Nuh-uh! I was aware that she was disagreeing, but she didn't try to stop me either. What a horrible situation. Yeah, what a shitty situation. I left the room, returning to the ballroom on the first floor to look for the Duchess. I couldn't rely on my communicator at a time like this, so I need to explain the situation face to face. But I jogged. No, give me just a minute. Yep. Family's over at Alberta visiting, so. But as I jogged to the end of the hallway, a flash of blue suddenly appeared before me. Oh, hello, familiar looking lady. Okay, yeah. It's Katya, we all know. I mean, it did had her. The was playing with her before, so. Klein Blue. What were you going, Handle Adjutant? Oh. There, Katya, long time to see. I thought you were back as Levy from Fairy Tale. Or the infamous stalking from Panty and Stalking with Garterbelt. I figured that I could have imagined block my way. She grabbed my collar, shoving me hard against the wall of the hallway. Before I can react, she already positioned her arms, knees, waist, and shoulders to secure the main joints of my limbs. For a moment, I was suddenly unable to move. Oh, shit. You're not here to hurt me, are you? I followed you all the way here in this freezing weather. I thought you were smarter than this. But I guess you were just too innocent. What do you mean by that? Do you really think ordinary medical techniques can save the kid in that room? Not exactly. Katya Klein. Yep, we are. Yep, I mean, everybody knew. I don't care how you survived the incident at the Fifth Research Institute, but if you value your life at all, you'll let me go. The blood in your hands has changed you. You've gotten pretty good at threatening people. What are you even talking about? Tell me, Adjutant, did you throw out after you put that bullet in Millwood's head, or did you have a nightmare? I tried to take advantage of her banter, relaxing my body in hopes of escaping. However, my efforts were only met with a chuckle and firmer, more painful pressure. Behave yourself, don't struggle. I don't have all day either. If you follow instructions, it'll be easier for both of us. What do you exactly want? Ichil, give her to me. She was my original target, and now she's the key to realizing what I've waited for a long time. I'll take care, and you leave yours with your girls. The waters here are muddy. I suggest. Okay. I'll take care of you. You leave yours for your girls. The waters here are muddy. I suggest you avoid them. Sounds like you might actually know something, and you are brave enough to break in here alone. But I still can't agree to your conditions. Just stop, Katya. If you leave now, I'll pretend nothing happened. Huh. She laughed softly. Something seemed to sparkle in her blue eyes. For some reason, I felt a sinister chill in my heart. And the next instant, she was holding a crossbow bolt in her free hand, aimed directly for my throat. Katya Klein! The crisp sound of metal clashing was accompanied by a familiar... Yeah. The crisp sound of metal clashing was accompanied by a familiar, fierce voice. By the time I could tell what was happening in front of me, Haru had already drawn her blade and was standing between me and Katya. Adjutant, are you okay? Where's Ichil and Tess? They're together. Tess already called and notified the Duchess the situation. The Parentheses private guards are on the way. Don't even think about hurting a single person today, Katya. I want to be alone with you, but it looks like you prefer a little more excitement. Yeah, blend in. Let's make things more exciting. The blue figure in front of me and Haru disappeared in a blink of an eye, leaving behind a cloud of smoke from a grenade she had thrown. But before the smoke grenade had even exploded, gunfire rang out in the ballroom behind us. Judging by the sound of shouting cries and overturned furniture and chaotic footsteps, it seemed like Katya hadn't come alone. The situation once again quickly escalated in a way I hadn't predicted. Haru shooting me as we make our way back up to the second floor. Duchess Orlavo. Yeah. Duchess Orlavo and her Brentzy private guards were already standing at the parlor door. Each was surrounded by a circle of guards, protecting the middle. And she didn't. They're trying to take Ichil. Tess looked at me nervously. I understand her worry, but we didn't have a choice right now. Duchess Orlava, I don't want any hostility between us. You can take Ichil for now, but let me be clear. This is not an official handoff. Your people need to get Ichil to safety as soon as possible. Yusol and Heindel can't be held responsible if something goes wrong. Trust me, Adjutant. I care more than anyone about her safety. You're already aware of why I need her, aren't you? If you're willing to help, there are several more guests in the mansion, and I don't have time to protect them. Can I show you one more time? I'll explain everything after this mess settles down. What do you want me to do? She didn't come closer this time. Instead, she just threw a stack of photos to me from the distance. Make sure these people get out of the mansion safely. Even if they die, they need to do it outside the mansion gates. Okay. Old acquaintances. Hey.
戦士、常に備えを怠る。大事な客人と言っておきながら救援を自分たちに任せるとは。
つまり誰かに知られるとまずいお客さんなんだね。よし、あいつらの正体をネタバラシしちゃいましょう。あのバレンツの公爵まで知らんぷりして、一体どんなお客さんなんでしょうね。
成瀬春、出撃可能です。
例の大事なお客さんとやらはこの先にいるみたい。待
て、この服、降臨弾か。
宗教の関係者。面白いね。
Idol! What are you guys doing here? Hey, can you move? If you can't, get up right away. This isn't what we agreed on all. Orlava's a fucking bitch and a liar. Are you coming or not? I'm coming, alright. Huh. There's something else more to... Uh-oh.
周囲に気をつけろ。来光よ、天を貫け。ただのかすり傷だ。心配はいらない。今のところ順調だ。
That one in blue, she's terrifying. The one in blue, do you see her? Where'd she go? She's crazy. I don't want to die. Okay, let's get him out of here first. Oh, I think she meant Katya.
助かる。ちょうど切らしてた。すべて想定内だ。分かった。一旦預かっておく。カーシアは極めて危険な人物だ。この騒ぎを起こした。きっと何か狙いがある。待て。分析員はどこに行った？
まさかあの人はイチェルを狙ってるの？
ならばなおさら 好き勝手にはさせない。休息もまた戦術のうちだ。
Help me, please, I'm begging you. You're gonna be okay. Calm down and breathe. Follow us. We'll get you out of here. Oh, never mind. Just we're done.
公演無事終了。ありがとうございました。
And this is the same woman who voiced Esdeath from Megami Got Killed. I need to remind some of you. Which is Tess, by the way. Not the Haru. Not Haru. The disturbance that Katya caused was much more severe than I imagined. Perhaps due to the fact nobles were all hiding something to begin with. They were scared that even the softest rustle of trees. Of that, the rescue process was far from smooth. Excuse me. I caught by a few guests struggling to survive. When I came back to my senses, Haru and Tess were nowhere to be found, and communications were cut off. I was alone in the dark hallway. Oh, joy. I can't die here, no! Urk, I did so much to work my way to the Kawarni faction circle. If anyone deserves to live in this cursed place, it's me! Terrified murmuring mixed with the faintest sound of gagging reached me from the end of the hallway. I started to walk toward the source of the sound, but the hallway seemed practically endless. At some point, the air started to fill with a strange substance. It was stifling and heavy. My heart began to twitch painfully once again as my vision became hazy and distorted. This wasn't what we agreed on! The medicine! My body shouldn't be rejecting it! As the body tensed and lungs compressed, all remaining air in the throat was squeezed out. The rough, rusty sound continued to draw me in. Whipping around in the blinding dark, I spotted something indescribable. Obey the call of Valhalla. Save me! Save me, oh, Mr. Omega! I don't want to die here! In the shadows, the person's body and features continued to warp and change, but I recognized his face. I thought this, again, must be some sort of hallucination. The last time I experienced this reaction was on the train platform when I came into contact with Ichil. The hallucination wasn't as strong as it was the first time, but the stifling heaviness on my body felt incredibly similar. Could there have been a connection between them? Hey, you, the young man over there! From where the young noble named Arsene was lying on the ground, the new voice sounded. It was weak, trembling, and full of fear. Is that you, Mr. Adjutant? Was that what the Duchess called you? Please help me. Still wearing her mask, the young woman's pale face was full of desperation and longing. After staring at her for a moment, I realized she didn't warp my vision in the same way the other things did. After hesitating for a long while, I finally took a step toward her. Thank goodness. Please get me out of... Ah! Oh no! No, Arsene! You're already dead, let me go! Pavlina! Join us, Pavlina! As I was about to reach the doorway to the room they were in, Arsene, who was sprawled out on the floor in the struggle, grabbed onto Pavlina's legs with his hands. Or maybe I should say, its hands. The disfigured being screamed and thrashed around as if it wanted to drag her down with it into some hellish abyss. A few rays of moonlight streaming in from the window illuminated something in Arsene's hand. Stand back and watch or shoot? No, I'm gonna shoot. Even if this is some sort of hallucination, I couldn't just sit back and watch this girl get attacked in front of my eyes. And if I save her, I might be able to ask her a few questions. I took a deep breath bit down my lip hard and used the pain to regain a moment of clarity. Then I drew my gun and aimed. As long as I pulled the trigger, my customized digital weapon would. Pavlina, join us! The train is calling you! We are calling... Mr. Adjutant, help me! Alright, my eyes begin to tremble at the sensation of stifling heaviness grew even more stronger. Arcee, just die! Go answer that hard tree's call by yourself! In the days I watched as Pavlina raised her hand, I smashed what seemed to be a test tube over at Arcee's head. The glass shattered, causing an odd liquid to burst out. Staring at his head, Arcee's body completely transformed into hydrogen crystals, but in a few moments, subsequently evaporating without a trace. Mr. Adjutant, how long are you going to stand there and watch? If you don't want to save me... Even if you don't want to save me like you saved the other guests, please just give me a chance. I need to tell you something. Her voice, weak and pitifully only moments ago, now angry and venomous like a curse. What was going on? What was she holding in her hand just now? I've had enough. After dragging me into the room, Adeline hugged herself tightly and huddled in the corner. After some time, she opened her quivering mouth. Duchess Orlava has been forcing us to take her side against the Quarantine faction. To bolt tonight was our final warning. Anyone who didn't align themselves would be her, and anyone who didn't align themselves with her would be eliminated. And the Quarantine faction forced us to take that stuff. They say we could only maintain our status and reputation moving forward if we drank it. As the prestigious old Federation, we're caught in the middle. We don't even have a president. What future can we hope for? What's the stuff you mentioned? Some kind of solution, a serum. With Quarantine support, that man Omega developed it. They claim it could cure juvosis and even extend some certain people's lifespan and cause their bodies to evolve. It was all shit. You just saw it. It turns people to monsters. Even makes people you say stuff about the call of the tree or something. Northwind Aerospace Center has been under martial law for a while. I don't know how you got in, but if Duchess Orlava brought you in here, she's probably trying to prove that she can muster enough power to fight back against Quarantine. So please, Mr. Atchison, save us. The harsh ring of communication suddenly sounded and power returned to the mansion at near the same time. The sudden bright light made it difficult for me to open my eyes. I could only hear Pavlina gasping next to me. Are you reporters from the Quarantine Media Center? What are you all doing here? Miss Pavlina. Snap out of it, Maxim. Make sure the communication goes through. No! Just as I realized I was seeing, Pavlina already sprung up and snatched the communicator from the two people she referred to as reporters. Mr. Adjutant, get out of here! Don't let them know you're here! I'm so sorry, Miss Pavlina. Reporting to headquarters. We're still at Orlov Mansion. I didn't have any energy left to hear clearly what they were reporting. I was completely focused on Pavlina's body as it slowly fell. The poor girl has been shot in the chest, her eyes full of fear as she slumped to the ground. Excuse me. You need to clear my throat for a minute. I couldn't help staring at her face. It still had the smallest amount of life left in it, but then I saw something terrifying enough to make my heart stop. Join us and obey the call of tree. Pale blue crystals began to sprout from Pavlina's neck, sticking to her skin and spreading across her chin until they covered half her face. After the Quarantine reporter shot her, she had transformed into a human titan hybrid right before my eyes. And yet this indescribable monstrous creature existed clearly in my memory. My memory of Operation Breakpoint, to be specific. Adjutant! Are you okay, Adjutant? My fragmented memories were like rapidly spinning blades, driving my consciousness into chaos. Gunshot after gunshot rang in my ears, and I was in a trance, unable to discern reality from delusion. I suggest you lower your gun, sir. You know exactly where we are. We have an old ruler here. No killing within the boundaries of a Black Ice Alley. If you answer honestly, no one will be killed. Ha! This is a place of business, not an interrogation room. If you need information, just give me what I want. If not, I ask that you be on your way. Looks like you monsters aren't grateful in the least. Enough! Give it to him. Yes, Mr. Omega. Are you ready to talk? The mercenary who was working with Millwood to capture Icho Gustav. Who was she? Katya Klein. The Blue Bolt Katya Klein, a new player who suddenly appeared on the screen recently. She's ruthless, skilled, and quite the show-off. Are you sure about that name? I'm always sure, Mr. Omega. Oh, by the way, the serum you provided is proving to be very popular on the market. Thanks to you, the people of Eurus are now finally starting to understand how to harness the Titan's power. Good luck with the rest of your research. Goodbye. Carrying his payment for the transaction, the slender intelligence broker strolled down the long street. Then they turned into a cramped, dark alley at the end. Several of his similarly dressed companions stood in the dark, dead in an alleyway. Behind him, a poor man could be seen tied up, his mouth gagged. Aren't you curious about this stuff? Well, here it is, just for you. Shut up for yourself. See what the former director from your company is hiding out there. See what a former director from your company is hiding out here, researching. Lee Batten, Jägerstol. Perhaps the company has grown too big for its own good. The business of Eurus should be handled by the people of Eurus. Haru, I found the adjutant. He's over here. How is he? It doesn't look good. Oh gosh, adjutant, wake up! That crazy lady captured Icho, and the people from Burnsie Priber didn't try to stop her. Haru, do you think Haru? What are you doing? Haru didn't reply. Instead, she stood up slowly, sheathing her blade as she tossed what appeared to be a rustic badge over the test. An astrolabe representing the glory of Eurus? But it looks like some kind of a key card, right? Who are these two people and how did he die here? The reporters from Coronet. Their injuries were caused by a Jägerstol weapon. Adjutant, did you? If I hadn't acted, I wouldn't be here right now. Adjutant, I'll explain everything later. Help me up. We need to catch Katya first. The situation here in Eurus is way more complex than we thought. We can't let her have Icho. No, I should say, we can't hand Icho over to anyone. Okay, so... standoff, cutting hair, and their progress in the final preparations. Yeah, quite the ways to go. Yeah.
覚悟なしに戦場に踏み入るし。
ずっと私を追ってるわね。分析員イチェルは本当に可愛い子。彼女を連れ去るべきだった。そうしていればこんなところに送られずに済んだのに。
Yeah, it's not like where your take here is any better.
問題ない。行こう。そんなに地獄を見たいの？残念。図星のようね。その勇気は褒めてあげる。そんな程度じゃ引き出す。はとっくに手遅れなの。あのマジシャンの小娘ならここのことをよく知ってるでしょ。もしかして分析員に黙っていたの？彼らがこんな風になったのは一位先進。 気をつけてね、可愛い子ちゃん。
本日のラッキーさんは君だ。
Oh, come on.
片付けた。だが任務か。これは名誉と比べれば何の価値もない。私一人で十分。残念。図星のようね。
自分の立場をよくよく考えるといいわ、分析。それともあなたも会社に裏切られたいのかしら。私を理解するためにそこまでしたいの。
And yet you join us later on. So yeah. Otherwise, why are you a playable character to begin with?
その勇気は褒めてあげる。目標達成。ビューンってね。
Still are yours.
これっ
Might
て
be either good stuff
猫ババ
or
じゃ
good
ない
version.
の？
Yeah, I would have access to these journals, except, well, the archive has been removed. Again, there is one, but, again, I do not want to take the risk, and I'm sure the staff are doing something about that. Chase down Katya, I mean. Is that it? Yep, that's it.
感じたか、その重さを。
Alright, just adjust this. Oops.
覚悟なしに戦場に踏み入る資格なし。
てーてれー。時代を超える美少女登場。
どこまでも追ってくるつもりなのね。いいわ、遊んであげる。もっといい悲鳴を聞かせてちょうだい。
フェーズエナジー暴月
斬撃。フェーズエナジー三日月。いいタイミングで邪魔してくるわ。この小娘は連れて行く。あなたの幸運を祈る。
That didn't take long.
さあ帰ってニューマジックを考えないとね。
Alright. Oh, yeah, that's right. Is that the one I... No, I did that already. We've known each other for a long time, Tatiana. I've known you since you were a child, when your father was still the Duke. I have to remind you that the old Duke Orlov, in his position as a war hero, voluntarily gave up his military power in exchange for your family status. Do you know what the price is if you claim it again now? Do I need to know? You're playing with fire, little girl. Yeah, considering Tao's age, yeah, it's not surprising. You're the one who lured me in first. Don't think I don't know what you're trying to do. If it's part Forensic Primer's aerospace technology you're after, you don't need to waste so much effort. Yours is successful, and you want to muddy the waters even more. But don't forget that yours is my home. Business is business, but if 13 million people in yours lose their lives, then it's bigger than just business between you and me. Tatiana, you've changed. Right now, you look like a gambler who's lost all of her money, ready to borrow even more to turn the tables in her favor. Sounds like Tsunade from Naruto, but... Except, it's nice. Actually, somewhat successful. Well, actually, I shouldn't be. I really haven't been watching Naruto Shippuden, and especially Naruto Shippuden, but I stopped giving a crap about Naruto after, well, the canonical part where Sasuke betrays the hidden leaf for Orochimaru's side. And then after that, it was just filler all the way up, and then Shippuden came. Yeah. Anyways. You outsiders stormed in here, made a mess of my home, and left our people high and dry amidst the chaos. Do you expect me to bite my tongue and forever obey your every wish? So what if I'm a gambler? You all are the ones who drove Eurus into chaos in the first place, forcing everyone to bet their lives. So let's see who wins, shall we? Let's see if I can lead my people to drive out you warmongers, corporations, and Titan-obsessed fanatics. The headstrong woman was trembling in fury, and her chest, housing artificial lungs, quickly rose and fell. The air she sucked in through the medical nebulizer stimulated her sympathetic nervous system, immersing her in a pleasure that was both exciting and frightening at the same time. Yeah. Your Grace! The Highville Adjutant and his operatives have arrived and are waiting outside. Let him in. By the time Tess, Haru, and I stood in front of her ready for a showdown, she had already calmed her expression. She looked at my eyes with a half smile. Question or observe Tatiana. Got the names mixed up with Tatiana and Titania. Alright, guess we're questioning her. Your mansion was infiltrated from the inside out, Your Grace. Paired with some of the information I gathered before, it's hard for me to believe that you didn't let some. Paired with some of the information I've gathered before, it's hard for me to believe that you didn't let in some of those troublesome guests yourself. What the fuck are you trying to do here? Haven't you heard the term prospector, Adjutant? Did she want to tell a story? Huh, alright, I was curious as to what she had to say. Legend has it that back when gold was still valuable, there was a group of people who made a living by sifting gold out of dirt. They collected silt from lakes and rivers, then washed it in pans to find little kernels of gold, and used this bowl to sift out your allies and enemies. Correct. Even finding nothing would be fighting in and of itself. In other words, it would be the most common natural finding. But if that's what you wanted to do from the beginning, why did you ask us to bring each other to the mansion? That's a good question from Tess, or rather, Esdaf there. She suffered so much and experienced a lot of danger on the way here, and you... What happened to Ichil was an accident. Oh, are you trying to defend me, Adjutant? No one could have known that Katya Klein would show up here, and no one knows why she wanted Ichil. You turned your match into a stage. All the individuals and powers with a desire for years were compelled to make an appearance. In your original plan, you want to use Ichil's identity to force those people's hands in with their cooperation. You had no intention of avoiding anyone from the quarantine either. You actually want to coordinate any other people working with them to see everything that happened. The political symbol of Eurus, ultimate authority, Ichil Gustav, now in your hands. And the entity that can best help me solve our Taijin crisis, Yggdrasil's Heimdall Force, is now my ally. Ally? Duchess Orlava. Please understand something. The Heimdall Force is not a political tool for anyone to use. We aren't your allies. Who knows? The match is now temporarily under Quarantini's control as they investigate. And your adjutant personally killed 2 of their reporters. Or should I say, 2 secret agents. They've already retrieved the bodies. In their eyes, Heimdall and Yggdrasil are already my allies. Considering that you had talks with Tal, you can't say I'm surprised. So, what are you planning to do? She shrugged and chuckled softly. Her once forceful attitude vanished instantly, a solemn wave of exhaustion and helplessness taking its place. It was seemingly silently asking, "What can I do?" Please come with me. I want you all to see something. Our tests were completely dissatisfied with Lava's behavior. I had to take both of them by the hand. Excuse me. Dragging them along to follow her. After the fingers within my grasp were no longer stiff from anger and the cold, Orlava, who had been leading the way, also stopped. Your Grace! We were standing in a vast living space. It was well furnished and elaborately decorated, maximizing aesthetics while still ensuring practicality. If no one had said otherwise, it'd be easy to forget this was. It would be easy to forget this was actually an underground living space. Of this, the wealth and power of the former Eurus Federation was somewhat evident. How's our situation? We held off Coronate, but a few entrances were exposed in the process. If we put together a large-scale attack, we have to consider withdrawing to the main bunker. They also hit a few of our men, who are now showing signs of Taiji contamination. We don't have enough medicine. Should we handle it like before? It's up to you. Those men, where are they? They're on the quarantine room over there. The Duchess brought her medicine nebulizer to her mouth and drew a deep breath, seemingly used this ritualistic motion to calm her emotions. She then reached out to the soldier next to her. The soldier wearing a Brincy Priber uniform pulled out his pistol, carefully and respectfully handing it over to the Duchess. I ask that you all wait for me here. She directed this plea to us. I could feel Tess's nervousness and anger as her sharp nails dug into my palm. Ow! Ow! Tess, a little easy there? But my other palm was suddenly empty. Hard shaking off my hand, bound forward and stopped the Duchess from taking another step. What are you going to do? Please step aside. Our contaminated men need to be taken care of by the Duchess. Tell me, I ask you, what are you going to do? Unlike before, Alava's face was now expressionless, as if she was wearing a mask made of ice. You've turned these people into soldiers to put your lives on the line for you. I'll say it once more. Please step aside. Don't meddle in our affairs. What terrible act are we about to witness? How long do you think of the lives of your soldiers? Hey, move it! Don't get in her Grace's way! The frustrated resistant soldier drew his rifle, but Hari didn't care whatsoever, firmly remaining in front of the lava. I watched on as the Duchess, once upright back, began to slowly bend. It has always been done this way. I prettily send them off. They see it as their deliverance. That's bullshit! Quarry and Omega are both completely insane. Their research into Titangen, into that tree, was utilized in weapons and ammo. All of our companions who are hidden in battle, dead or alive, become the source of Titangen contamination. This isn't the first time they used this scheme to force my men out of the bunker. Medicine, supplies, a safe place to hide. Think about it. I'm not only talking about what happened to me and my people. She suddenly turned around, gazing at me from where she stood. When war Mongols like Korine took control of Titangen weapons, what will happen to yours and the rest of the world? Just tell me. What do we need to do to save those people? Those old bunkers we lost control of. Someone needs to go there, find the supplies stored during the Civil War, and open the connections between them and the main bunker. One man can't do it alone. She didn't continue speaking. Instead, she lowered her head, pulled the slide of the pistol in her hand, and checked how many bullets were in the chamber. I had a nagging feeling in my heart, as if someone was shouting at me, telling me that everything this woman said was a lie. She was also gambling on whether I would help, gambling on whether I would be an ally in this complex situation. And her gamble had paid off. At least this time. Battle preparations. Oh. Let's get to the file before we get to the next stage. The door was sealed, lights dim, a holographic image was being projected on the tactical tower communicator as she stood before it. The lavishly decorated parlor was in complete disarray. In the middle of the hologram were two bodies stacked on top of one another. I don't know what this is or why you're showing me it. Her tone of behavior remained calm and steady, but the contemptuous laugh from the other side of the screen seemed to indicate that she wouldn't be holding the cards in their conversation that was to follow. This is the final frame of the surveillance video. As a member of the Quarantine faction, I'm showing you out of respect for yourself and you as a person, Director Tao. If you aren't willing to cooperate, I wouldn't mind making all 1 hour, 37 minutes, and 55 seconds of this video available to the public. Director Tao, we have no issue with you concerning the disappearance of Millwood, head of the staff at the Refugee Resettlement Committee. Because there is no evidence. But this is different. There were 3 shots fired, 2 lives taken, and a room filled with highly concentrated Titangen. Those are the facts. I know you worked with many senior military officials in the past. Yggdrasil and the military work hand in hand across many fields. Although we in Korine are independent, from the perspective of outsiders, civilians, and several of your business partners, we are the military. I ask that you carefully consider it. When you are done thinking about it, Korine will always be open to friendly communication. Even though the tone was calm and respectful, the statements made were, without a doubt, a series of blows intended to put pressure on her. Before hanging up the call, the person on the other end left her with an ultimatum. We are in the heart of the Containment Zone 91. You know what we want most. Of a flash of light and a huge image in front of her disappeared. Of a flash of light, the huge image in front of her disappeared, and the white noise in the background of the communication vanished. The entire combat meeting room went silent in an instant. The automatic door slid open, footsteps moved into the distance, heading down the deserted hallway. It was white as snow, absolutely spotless. She had once preferred this decor. She had suppressed, controlled, and abandoned all desire, leaving only pure rationality amidst her goals. She couldn't remember how long it had taken her to get where she was today. Now, everything here belonged to her and her alone. But it wasn't her empire. She didn't want it. Although she sat at the top, she had no interest whatsoever in the throne. Director Tao, from now on, all of our research work will be reported to you. Some of our partners, they're withdrawing from the projects that they worked on before with us. This is going to affect our research efficiency. Take a look. The cost of eliminating the board was more than she had anticipated. Other people must have seen her as a vile usurper. Excuse me. Ugh. Partners who had a close relationship with the former director slowly began to distance themselves from her. It wasn't only because she spent the first half of her life. Oh shit. It wasn't only because she spent the first half of her life concentrated on research, technology, and creating gods. She had always set her sights as high as possible, constantly fantasizing about embracing the purest landscape. She ignored the reality and that the land people live on this dirty, riddled with muck and ash. Can the idols you've taken such good care of truly led mankind forward? Can those superhuman leaders satisfy your expectations more than I can? Let's test it with a war. And due to Ida's declaration of war and the unique manner in which it was communicated, the pressure bearing down on Yggdrasil has abruptly increased. Heimdall couldn't handle the trees popping up all over the globe at the same time. When the people all expect something from you, but you're unable to react, your fate is already sealed. Tao walked into the place she was most unfamiliar with the entire company. Although she had recruited them, she had seemingly never before walked into their lives. Director Tao? What are you? Oh, never mind, Director Tao! It was late, but most of her battle allies still hadn't returned to their rooms. They were standing or sitting around the base hall, gathering groups of brooding expressions. Director Tao! Hello? Good evening. She didn't respond, instead heading directly upstairs. One of the operators was awoken by the sound and turned on their lights. The sun brightness made her squint. Tao walked up on one of the doors, slowly raised a fist, ready to knock. Director Tao! Are there emergency orders? I thought the schedule said I didn't have to report to you until noon tomorrow. The door had opened before Tao could knock. Inside, Sirius shrank back anxiously, unwilling to even meet her gaze. Do you have the final results for the surveys you applied to do? Yes. Would you like to hear the report now? Please, one moment. I'll change and head to your. No need. Just tell me here. No one could have expected this. Just then, all of the Heimdall operatives in the base opened their eyes wide, staring at Tao and Sirius. Understood. I've organized all the Operation Breakpoint files, as well as the recording documents and other images from Internal Affairs Abandoned Squad after Operation Breakpoint. In the end, I didn't discover any potential danger. No employees or spies have defected. The company is completely safe internally. The girl's world trembled uncontrollably as she spoke, became quieter and quieter until they were nearly a whisper. Even so, there was no doubt that everyone present heard exactly what she said. Louder. Say it again. Director Tao, a light cast Tao shouted into Sirius' room. The thin, tall darkness seemed to hold some sort of power, causing the already panicked girl to respond firmly. I, Operative Sirius of the Heimdall Force, stake my identity. Oh, shit. Seek my identity, responsibility, and life to guarantee that there is no potential danger present at Yggdrasil headquarters. No employees have defected. The Internal Affairs Leviathan Squad did not report all of its findings to you. Relevant personnel responsible for infiltrating Yura secretly concealed and tampered with a large number of documents and even falsified orders from you. Sorry. The investigation into the Hanbo Forest should have concluded a long time ago. The company is completely safe. Shine gasping for air and with adrenaline coursing through her veins, Sirius almost collapsed after finishing her statement. Tal looked at the girl in front of her and felt the urge. Oh, excuse me. Shit. Crap, made me lose my ability to read. Tal looked at the girl in front of her and felt the urge to reach out and support her, something she had never done. Before she could move, the petite operative had already reached out and grabbed onto the door frame and steadied herself. Sirius' head raised, full of stubborn determination. There was no way for Tal to avoid her direct gaze, nor the burning gazes that pierced Tal's back. On Tal's way back, she kept thinking, when did I start to make a mistake, and where? She didn't understand others, and she certainly didn't understand why those obedient reserve operatives she called upon on short notice were so eager for instant success. It was similar to how she didn't understand why those battle isles she viewed simply as tools and necessary collateral on the path to creating gods. Came a united team under Steven's leadership. Under my leadership. Maybe because she needs to realize there is more than meets the eye. She had to believe that those with outstanding ability only needed a leader who represented absolute authority and a purpose worthy of laying down their lives for. To lead humankind forward, she sacrificed nearly everything. Now, even for her own life had to be preserved year by year. But had she strayed too far from human nature? Boss? The intelligence officer's cautious voice sounded from the outside, but she had no interest in responding. We lost contact with the band team that infiltrated Northwind Aerospace Center. A coordinating faction officer just sent over some more items to threaten us, including the remains of some of the Lebanon's operatives. They're still asking us for the specific method used to relieve flooding. No one feels pressure when the first snowflake falls. You will only think about where and how to place it, how to allow it to survive and not melt. But snowflakes will fall one after another constantly. They will fall onto your head, on your shoulders, rolling up, compacting, until even a giant's back is completely bent over, and he finally kneels down and surrenders. Doesn't that mean I betrayed you, Steven? Yes and no. That's a hard one for me to answer. But let's see how But let's see how things will go from there. Howard. Oh man. Okay. Thing passed it out. Definitely more than an hour and a half, that's for sure, so. Oh, and just now, this magic card was in your office, started flashing and beeping. Come in. Caroline, unaware of what was happening, was startled by her sudden loud voice. She hastily opened the door and rushed in. The child stood up, without any hesitation whatsoever, took the card and inserted it into her portable communicator. Tess, mission progress report, hurry. Okay, let's see how we're gonna make a choice. Alright. Second option is Evening Director Tao. Steven. The situation isn't looking good. I only have enough time to say a few things, just listen. Ichigo was taken from Duchess Orlava's mansion by Katya Klein. Can't kill her now. The other operatives and I are trapped in the Renzi Primer's bunker. The Duchess you asked me to befriend isn't very friendly. It seems like she's instigating a war with the Corny faction and wants to get us involved. Omega's in control of the Containment Zone 91. He's conducting research, but we're unsure of the specifics. Enough. Carry the mission. I'll figure this. I'll figure it out a way to bring you back. It's already confirmed that headquarters is safe. There's no need for any additional risk. Both seems valid. You think there's still a way for me? You think there's still a way for me to get out of here? The whole Northwind Aerospace Center is already filled with traces of Yggdrasil's involvement. You can't send any more people here, and I can't just leave like this. If I leave, Yggdrasil's reputation is done for. Like... Then what do you need? How can I help? Wait for the tides to shift. Wait for a strong, legitimate reason for you to leverage the company's power. I'll take Haru test with me. We'll give it our all. Even if worst comes to worst, I'll do my best to get rid of the tree. And since you said it's been confirmed that the headquarters is safe, cup for tea. Yep. Make up with the operatives. They were each handpicked by you, after all. Stop downing them and stop using them as tools. They've always spoiled you, and I've always followed you to where we are today. Since I'm not there, please take care of them like a true superior would. Alright, now we got that out of the way. So we got one stage, and then the progress, tree won't. Okay. Actually, is this? Yeah, she's probably underpowered. Nope.
覚悟なしに戦場に踏みあいつの話には耳を貸すな。これまでの話は全て嘘。あいつは軍と戦う気なんだ。こんなことをさせるなんて会社と何か取引をしたに違いない。
一気にドーンって装填しちゃう？
市民と兵士たちになぜこんなものを。まさか武士とでも言うのか。それでいてあんなに多くの人々が彼女を支持しているだと。こんなものを食べ続けていたら死んでしまうぞ。
あのね、きっとみんな分かってる。だけどもう気にしていいの。このイエロ社では人の命も雪の方が長生きするんだ。ぶち破れ！今の私なんかベテランって感じしない？くらえ！一気にドーンって装填しちゃう？中身は何だろう？過去1年間私はイエロ社で散々痛い目にあった。もしかしてタウさんはとっくにあいつらとグルになってるの？
been clocked up one pill swoop.
みんなキラキラしたものが好きなんだね。楽勝じゃん。エネルギー回復 100%。ぜーくらえ。あたし全然大丈夫だし。うわ、私の番なの？
戦況をよく見ろ。迅速に交代するべきだった。一位先進。ロホー。ゆっ片付けた。だが任務完了まで気を抜くなよ。戦利品は常にいいものだ。
That's just great.
美しい音だ。双方この程度かすり傷だ。
And that's it.
公演無事終了。ありがとうございました。
This way, the injuries won't get any worse. There aren't dangers anymore. You better move them to a safe place and let them rest. Alright. Truly, thank you for your help. The soldier who had angrily drawn his gun at Haru for stopping Orlava for not long before was now so emotional that he was nearly speechless. Tess and Haru had just finished distributing all the medicine, so at least no one would be sitting around waiting to die. Where's the Duchess? Whoa. Hey! Didn't we just help you out and you're still trying to hide stuff from us? It was rare for Tess to lose her temper. Shortly after you guys left, we captured a spy in the main bunker. Her Grace is now personally interrogating her. Where? In the interrogation room on a lower level. Actually, do you intend to? Tell me the exact location. I'll go check it out. I'm afraid that might be... Your Duchess said for herself that I'm your ally now. So, as your ally, there are some things I can't just ignore. Tess stood behind me in silence, even though the resistance soldiers in front of me obviously wasn't happy about it. He only saw and gave me the location of the interrogation room. You can stop here. I'll go in by myself. Huh? So what do we... It's odd that a spy would appear out of nowhere. Orlava is clearly still hiding some things from us. If I go in alone, she'll let her guard down somewhat. Besides, I have something else for you guys to take care of. Do you need Tess and I to scout out the entire bunker? Yes, it's really important. The bunker is still an unfamiliar environment, and we can't be led around blind by the Duchess all the time. I need you to find some possible escape routes that are safe just in case. We have to be ready to leave at the moment's notice. Alright, just leave it to me. Escape magic is a must for any great magician. Ichil is missing, but the Duchess doesn't seem to care. Something's not adding up. If at all possible, we need to get Ichil back on our own. There's definitely more to that girl than we know. Understood. Leave it to us, Adjutant. Be careful. The two well-trained Hondo operatives quickly disappeared from my sight. I took a deep breath, steadied my emotions, then strode into the interrogation room. As soon as I pushed open the heavy, soundproof door, a sharp, burning smell assaulted my senses, followed by angry grunts coming from lava. I then heard a series of small, near indescribable gasps. It seems you're enjoying this, so how about we do it again? I heard a crackle of electricity mixed with the pain-muffled groans of an unknown woman. The legs of a steel chair she sat in grated against the concrete floor. I leaned against the interrogation room wall, releasing any tension I was holding. I observed Tatiana's interrogation motionlessly. Who sent you here? How'd you get in? And how much intel have you sent out? It's only 3 questions, it's not hard. Tell me, and I'll set you free. I already told you everything. No one sent me here. I got lost and wandered on my own. This place, it's too big. It's like a maze. I don't even remember how I got in. Please, don't hurt me. I really don't know anything. I can't take it anymore. Ah! But before the unknown woman secured to the torch device could even finish speaking, Tatiana pressed the button in her hand again somberly. For a moment, she heard screams, the sputtering of electricity, and the sound of flesh burning all mixed together, filling the small interrogation room with excruciating echoes. Duchess Orlava! Tatiana seemingly to finally become aware of my presence. She tossed the button aside, stopped the device, and turned around to rest her forehead against the wall, breathing heavily. Even though the electric current had been cut off, the woman tied to the device was still shaking and twitching. It was some time before she finally stopped moving, tilting her head as she panted miserably. While she was still trembling, I saw her take advantage of the moment Tatiana turned away, shaking something off her chest onto the ground, deftly using her toes to kicking it over to my feet. There. Here, pick one. Was this woman working with Millwood? What are you doing here, adjutant? Just as I stashed away the queen's chess piece, Tatiana turned around to ask me this question. Find an excuse to get Tatiana to leave or distract Tatiana. Okay, I guess we're going the distraction route. I solved your problem, but now I have a new problem of my own. It's about Ichil. What are you going to do? No matter what happens between you and Courtney, can't forget about Ichil, right? Have you considered who Katya might take her to? I'm a little... She had finally put her fatigue on full display. It looked like I needed to lure her out of an interrogation room no matter what. A slight reckless plan was taking shape in my mind, so I took a few steps towards her. Unfortunately, it looked like I needed to lure her out of the... Okay, yeah. You have to rest. The more this keeps happening, the more you need to Before I could finish, Alava suddenly staggered and fell over to into my arms. Yeah, I'll catch her. Sort of arms almost instantly letting her use me as a temporary support, but in the next second, I began to regret this decision. A faint sensation of stifling heaviness began to spread throughout my body. Although it was only for a second, my eyes glazed over as if I was about to listening to something again. Thankfully, Alava didn't notice her mistake in time, hastily putting her hand on my chest, standing up. Sorry, I'm not feeling well. You don't say. I guess I do need to rest. She turned around and glanced at the woman fixed to the torture device, who had seemingly passed out. I can help you keep an eye on things here. If she wakes up, I can use the usual method to see if she's still willing to talk. You just need to arrange a few trustworthy men to come here and monitor me. I stared into her eyes, suddenly waiting for a response. No, just do whatever you want. I watched Tatiana leave until she completely disappeared. Then I switched off all the monitoring equipment in the interrogation room and stood in front of the woman being tortured. Talk. I'm sure you have plenty to say. I wanted to ask you something first, Adjutant. The magician. How did she survive? Why didn't my shot kill her? Wait, that was you? Back to headquarters. The mission refused to fall. Codename Black Hollyhawk. Universal Internal Affairs. Lebanon Squad. Team 2 Operative. From the moment you left the company, our goal was to monitor, protect, and utilize your presence to draw any possible targets who might still harbor ill will towards Universal. But those possible targets also include me and my operatives. Exactly. A sudden burst of anger caused me to grab a torch device switch nearby, but what little rationality I had left, paired with a woman's wry smile, stopped me from pressing it in the end. Since entering the aerospace center, we've been met with huge obstacles. The Lebanon Squad had been whittled down to practically nothing. We lost contact with most of our companions. We have no way to send any sizable amount of intel. Just a minute. I took a risk coming to this bunker, but I want to get close to you and at least report some information to you and Director Tao need to know before something happened to me. Our lover could come back at any time, so tell me the most important stuff. Quarantine faction isn't protecting Omega. On the contrary, quarantine is being controlled by Omega using tiny technology. Nutty? He's gone insane. He equipped an entire army with Titan, and he wants to exact revenge on Yggdrasil and Director Tao. The sudden blaring of alarms in the bunker interrupted the conversation between me and the Lebanon member. Approaching footsteps outside only provided me with enough time to give her one last look before I quickly opened the door and walked out. Give me a moment. Ah, Adjutant, there you are. What's going on? How many entrance alarms were triggered? We think Quarantine might be staging another attack. Duchess the Lover has already left to hide in the safe house. She ordered that we bring you here too. No, I'm staring with you guys. Your name is Art. Your name is Art Yum, right? Tell me tell me what's exactly going on. The resistance soldier whose name I hesitantly recall pushed through his companions. Thank you, Adjutant. There's actually something we could use your help with. I suspect there may be some resistance soldiers who have deserted their post. Are you trying to say some have defected to the enemy? Most likely. Among the entrance alarm triggers, there was one that led deeper into the bunker network. It wouldn't be possible for our quarantine to launch an attack from there. Could you operatives head in that direction to see what's going on if our men really did defect? I'll handle it. You guys just need to worry about protecting the Duchess for now. And from now on, don't let anyone in or out of the interrogation room. I was well aware that this order would only arouse more suspicion. But I didn't have any other choice. No matter what happened, I had to ensure that Lebanon operative lived and didn't fall into the wrong hands. Thankfully, Artem didn't give much thought before turning around and leaving. Artem, Tess, can you hear me? Loud and clear. Yep, no problem. I communicated their orders as briefly as possible. Hart would go search for the group of resistance soldiers who had possibly defected, while Tess would covertly monitor the interrogation room for me. Then what about you, Adjutant? Adjutant, are you hiding something from us? There's something I still need to think about. I won't be long. Just make sure to give me regular progress reports. Yes, I did have a few things to add. Yes, I did have a few things to think about first. Something wasn't right in the interrogation room just now. Physical contact with Orlava. First Ichil, then Orlava. Why did I react so strangely and even experience hallucinations when I touched him? And why were my symptoms worse when I touched Ichil and fainter when I touched Orlava? Did the problems lie with them or with me? It was them. What did they have in common? I paced around in the bunker D with thought, trying to work around the answers to these questions. When I snapped back into reality, I didn't even know where I was. Looks like there's some sort of fatal attractions between us. I didn't expect the person I'd see in my final one to be you, Adjutant. Huh. So they covered up Tessa's blood in the last chapter, but Katya's somewhat intact. Weird. Then again, I don't think Katya's is nowhere near as graphic. Here, I'm gonna take a snapshot. Just give me a moment. Yep, that was it. Retreat. Oops. Didn't realize where I was. Shit. Better preparations. Trying to see where I was at. Oh. Okay, I think we know where I am. Okay, there we go. There we go. Alright, so what's our comment? 1389. Okay. No. Dorothy's a little underpowered right now. Let's go fake.
覚悟なしに戦場に踏み入る。すごい複雑でとても立派な要塞だ。こんなものを作るために一体何世代の労力を費やしたんだろう。ここの人々が争いを望むのは世代を超えてもなお変わらないこの環境に慣れてしまったからだろうか。戦争がもたらす支配、そして戦争による壊滅から申請できる技術。恐ろしい。増法。
足手まといなんてごめんよ。
私一人で十分得意分野よ。焦らないで、すぐに終わる。目標達成。ビューンってね。
Start a bunker train. Oh.
なるほど。どうやら山全体が掘られて空洞になっているようだ。上はどこまでつながっているんだろう。
Keep going.
この私があんたの後に出るなんて。ふん、今回は許してあげるわ。あら、私の勝ちね。逃がさないわよ。あんたら程度だ。
There we go. You can roll resistance.
私にこれは必要ないでしょ。いいわ、逃がさないわよ。
情報収集のためとはいえ、よく一人でここまで来られた。さすがはイエロー社長と言うべきだろうか。
逃がさないわよ。
どきな。その勇気は褒めてあげる。
一位先進。これ
Come on. There we go. There we go.
敵を見下ろすのっていつも気持ちいいの。
Alright. Don't worry, Adjutant. I already found the defected soldiers on my end. I notified the Resistance Army Sergeant. Since it's their own business, they're going to handle them themselves. Where are you? I can come up with you. I can come meet up. I can come meet up with you now. Okay. See if I can. QGRD X for the follow on X. And Grand Morgan's working cruise. Okay, anyway, sorry. I notified the Resistance Army Sergeant. Since their own business, they're going to handle it themselves. Where are you? I can come meet up with you now. Alright, wait a minute. As I stood in the deserted lower passageway of the bunker. Oh shit. As I stood in the deserted lower passageway of the bunker, Harry reported the results of her mission to me via our terminals. However, the unfortunate circumstances I was met with caused me to hesitate as I considered my next steps. Don't rush back just yet. I think I need to do one more thing for me. What's wrong, Adjutant? Is there a danger in the main bunker? No, don't worry. Still safe from here for now. Just... I need to help me find an empty room. An empty room? Yes, I need you to find a completely safe, empty room outside of the main bunker. Once you find one, send me the coordinates and wait for me there. I don't understand, Adjutant. What are you planning? It's a little hard for me to explain, so I'll tell you when I see you. Alright, bunker network is quite complex, so it should be easy to find an empty room. I hung up communication and organized my thoughts for a moment. Then turned and walked into the room behind me. Heh, what's wrong? You're scowling. Enough, Katya. What about Ichil? you're here, so where the hell is she? Where are you keeping her, and who did you hand her off to? Why are you here in this bunker? Wow, so many questions. Which one should I answer first? If I can't answer any of them, are you gonna leave me here and ignore me? I mean, considering that you're a playable operative, that's it'll be really hard for you to ignore you. She was unbelievably stubborn. I didn't have to get close to see you. She was seriously injured and barely able to move. If I left her here, her fate was sealed. But I couldn't let her die like that, no matter what it took. I had to make her talk. At the very least, I need her to reveal Isha's location first. So I tried my best to put on an indifferent expression, taking a step after step toward her. You. What are you trying to do? Okay. Okay, I guess we're going with that approach. I slip my arms behind her neck and knees, lifting her into my embrace with a calm breath. Yeah, you got some skills. What's this all about? Are you trying to intimidate me? She was heavier than I expected. Perhaps it's because she was moving around restlessly in my arms. Under normal circumstances, she might have been able to break free. However, since she was seriously injured, her fists pounding against me practically were extremely weak. Can't do anything with you. But that's not true for Olava. Do you want to see the difference between when I ask a question, what she does, and what she does? Ha 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 ha. See, if you carry me to see that sly fox like this, she's going to be furious. You can shout later. Everyone here works for her. If you feel like your voice isn't loud enough on its own, I'll help you get its attention. I need to be harsh. I need to make her cooperate before we left this room, or I wouldn't be able to get her to a safe place. But it seems to fall silent too quickly. I couldn't help lowering my head to glance at her face. You're just asking for trouble. Yeah, I could say the same thing for you too. As soon as she finished speaking, the weight in my arm suddenly grew lighter and my vision, Kennedy's body immediately grew hazy? Before I could even react to this strange occurrence, the sensation of stifling heaviness from before overcame me. My sight went dark, and if my heart was being gripped by an invisible hand, my mind flooded with countless bizarre hallucinations and whispers. How are you making me see that stuff too? First Ichil, then Orlava, now you too? What the fuck is going on with me? When I regained consciousness, I was on hands and knees supporting my powerless body. Katty stood aside with her arms folded, staring at me coldly. I tried to warn you back in the mansion. You clearly don't know anything, but you're still here to join in on the fun. Actually, they found an empty relic gas. It looks like the abandoned warehouse. It should be safe enough and it won't catch a resistant army's attention. You asked me to do this because you wanted to avoid Duchess Alarma and her men, right? Yes, you could say that. Call Tess over and wait for me. I'll be there soon. You're seriously annoying. You already work everything out, but you still insist on fighting it out. How irritating. Though her words are unforgiving, she followed behind me silently when I left the room. As a response to Carney's faction's potential attack, whilst the resistance soldiers were temporarily concentrated near the entrances connected to the bunker to the outside, ready for a fight. I was prepared for the worst, but to my surprise, Katty and I barely saw anyone along the way, none of whom took notice of us. We quickly arrived at the location Haru sent me. Yeah, they're not too pleased. Haru and Tess were, unsurprisingly, incredibly wary of Katya. Yeah, I'd be wary of stalking in Levy 2. Just this once, Adjutant. But in the future, please think about your safety before making any rash decisions. Adjutant, you really are crazy. If someone noticed you on your way here, Hart and I might not have been able to help in time. Their concern was apparent on their faces, but I didn't have time to respond to their gestures. I turned to look at Katya, who remained silent. She was leaning up against the wall, holding a test tube filled with strange liquid. Ichil Gustav is still alive. Don't worry. You can save her, but you need to know something more important first. Tell me, what do you see when you were carrying me just now? How did it feel? What are you talking about? Gee, she's hopeless. I saw a hallucination. It was like coming into contact with highly concentrated hydrogen. I felt faint and nauseous, and I saw a bunch of stuff that looked like fragments of other people's memories. I decided not to turn around and look for the expressions on Tess and Tara's face. For now, I chose to focus on Katya's questions. No doubt about it. He came into contact with highly concentrated hydrogen. Fragmented hydrogen, to be more precise. As she spoke, Katya suddenly threw the test tube in her hand to the ground. With the sound of the glass shattering, the liquid inside instantly vaporizes into nothingness. Adjutant, step back! Whoa! What are you... what is this? If you don't want to get flooded, I'd stay away. Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt your adjutant. He stopped at Haru and Tess before they could run over, but I could only stand there dumbfounded. It's not like I didn't want to do anything, but when Katya broke the test tube, my body immediately began to feel like it had before. So you can't see it right now. Hey, I guess that's good. Relax, reach out, and walk forward slowly. I followed her orders in daze, as if I was her puppet. With the movement of my body, my hands, arms, face, then next shifted too. Though I was only taking a few unobstructed step forward, it was as if all of the tactile cells in my body were on fire. Something I couldn't see what was touching me and merging into my body. For the glory of Eurus! No! To become Omega's body! Except it's called become with all. Become one with all. No, I don't want to die. No, Stop! What are you doing to the adjutant? Adjutant! You! Looks like it's time for a little revelation for you two girls. Your adjutant, his body's can't absorb hydrogen. You spent so long with him, haven't you noticed? Regardless of what you see, you must do whatever it takes to forget them all. Her voice seems close yet distant. I opened my eyes for a moment. It was difficult to tell if I come back to reality or I was still trapped in my stifling heavy hallucination. I saw a fragmented human form drifting into the air. It had the same unique sheen as Titangen, but it seemed to be lacking physical substance. I spotted Tess and Haru fiercely drawing their weapons, taking aim at Katya, but the latter just continues to stare at me intently. As she looked at me, Katya opened her arms and absorbed all the fragmented Titangen that still hadn't entered my body. She fell onto me like a kite with a snapped string. I could no longer handle the chaotic hallucinations fighting in my mind, and I lost consciousness. Deep within the bunker, Tatiana Orlova stood before a towering wall full of memorable tablets, lowering her head as she contemplated. Your Grace! The High Adjutant has made contact with Katya Klein as you wished. Your Grace? And the Black Ice Alley intelligence brokers? Have they been handled? They accepted our terms and are now working for us. Rest assured, they know what to say and what not to say. That mercenary, Katya Klein, will surely redirect the Adjutant's attentions towards Omega. Have you been playing this since you let her into the mansion and allowed her to take Ichil? Of course not. I'm a human, not a prophet, nor a demon that can peer into people's souls. She secured that chance all on her own. She's able to escape alive from the depths of Containment Zone 91, from that research center, while dying at Omega's hands. She's of great use to me. Then, moving forward, focus on dealing with the Quarantine faction. Ignore everything you see concerning the adjutant. I'll be leaving with the bunker for a bit, make preparations. I need to ensure that our men will be the first to follow the adjutant into Containment Zone 91. Understood. The little guard left quickly. Tatiana turned around once again, facing the wall filled with the remains of martyrs. She inadvertently bit her lower lip until her teeth broke into skin. She felt warmth as a metallic smell rushed into her nose, causing her to open her mouth as she shook uncontrollably. Oh, courageous commander of the Federation Field Army, Duke of White Rock, Your Grace, Leonid Orlov, my beloved father, please protect and forgive me. Oh, splendid savior of the Federation Icebreaker, Flag Bearer, Your Excellency, Leader Gustav, the sovereign I yearn for, please protect and forgive me. I have failed to defend the blood of my predecessors, failed to inherit the virtuous resolve and integrity of yours. I have allowed filth, wrongdoers, and violence to run rampant in our homeland. I, Tatiana Orlova, sinner, am one worthy of each and every one of you. I'm here to seek your solace, because I shall carry this guilt as I continue to act in ways even more antithetical to the values of the year's people. I shall bleed innocent people of their will, sacrifice the lives of loyal soldiers, and use outsiders to drive out other outsiders. I shall. At some point, her whispers had transformed to thundering shouts. Her excited voice filled of venom and hatred circled around Memorial Hall, seemingly awakened an echo within it. Tatiana's artificial lungs placed a heavy burden on her body. Then, the air she was breathing in from her medical nebulizer was seemingly unable to meet her body's needs. Oddly weighed down by a sensation of stifling heaviness, she couldn't stop herself from coughing up a mouthful of blood. For my father, my leader, and those others who came before me, I shall cut off Sergei Dobrin's head. Dobrin's head. I shall send him and those worms who forsake your sacrifices to be judged. Next day at sundown, Katya, Haru, and I covertly left the bunker under covers of Tessa's magic. We're on the main street of Europe's most well-known underground intelligence market, Black Ice Alley. According to Katya, both our bodies needed treating, and we could find answers to several of our questions here. Last night, after her attitude softened and talked to her for a long time, she told me how she had kidnapped Icho as an opportunity to get close to and assassinate Omega, but she ultimately failed and was injured after her plan was discovered. That was her side of the story, and I had no choice but to believe it for the time being. Why do we need to come here to find answers about what Tinyjin is doing to me? Because there aren't many people who know the whole truth. Only the intelligence brokers here will be willing to tell you everything. Where's Millwood's chess piece? Did you bring it with you? She reached out and started patting me down, with even giving me a chance to respond. Haru looked like she was about to burst into flames at any moment, but Katya couldn't care less. Hey, you need to tell me this. Hey, you need to tell it to me straight. Why would these intelligence brokers be willing to tell me the truth? I don't even know them. Huh? You have the queen too? That makes it even easier. Be good while I wait over here, while I look for someone. Oh yeah, the chess piece I took from, Orlova. I assume she'd be gone for a while, but she suddenly emerged from the crowd with the blink of an eye, followed by a young woman. Yeah, this crazy-ass lady. I'm the adjutant. Let's go somewhere more private. The young intelligence broker led us to a Black Ice Alley until we finally entered what seemed to be an abandoned building. You guys take your time talking. I'm going to get treated first. Hey, wait, you were one who You're the one here buying intel. You can hear what they have to say, but I can't. Be good and just follow their rules in a place like this. Don't worry. I'm still not on any ship to run off. She shut me up with just a few words. Hara and I were left to follow the intelligence broker with a small closed-off room, temporarily relinquishing all control. Take it back. It's true that I hadn't considered the thing intelligence brokers value most when trading. Confidentiality. But my bigger mistake was underestimating Katya's independence and impulsiveness. That last line was an understatement right there. Huh. How are you still so easily fooled, Adjutant? First Ichigo didn't love it, now you two. What's going on with you? Ask your questions carefully, Adjutant. And think even more carefully about the answers. How can there be any good people among the current elites of yours? Good question. Okay, so we go another stage, a cutscene, another stage, and a boss, and 2 more cutscenes. Oh yeah, oh shit, yeah, that's right.
一撃必中。任せて。ここに何が隠れているのか見てみようじゃない。立花、この屋敷と要塞、そしてオメガが隠れているあの宇宙センター、このバレンツ基地の拠点の間にはきっと何か関係がある。暗号化もできないの？目標達成。ビューンってね。
Oh yeah, that's right. Another stealth mission. Fuck. Okay, that was not smart. Yeah, it was not very smart. Okay.
乱暴で野蛮、欲張りね。富への欲望も気持ちも全部顔に出てるわ。人を従わせることで頭がいっぱいの連中はこんな目に遭うのも自業自得よ。
There we go.
面倒ね。他の子に回収してもらえばいいのに。そこで待っててね、分析員。いい男が子供みたいな寂しがり屋だなんて嫌われるわよ。さあ、お逃げなさい。
カッティア・クライン、勝手な行動をするな。今どこにいる？さっさと座標を送れ。すぐそっちに行く。
あら、もう私が恋しくなったの？
バカなことを言うな。緊急事態だ。あいつらは要塞に侵攻するつもりだ。
問題ない。行こう。簡単すぎよ。
Alright, next cutscene and then another stage of the boss. The Bishop. Milad Ivanov. Heh. Thanks for killing him, Adjutant. Huh. Okay. The intelligence broker sat down on a couch across from me, seemingly unconcerned with the thick layer of dust on the table between us. Filling with the 2 white chess pieces, she slowly pulled out an old hourglass and placed it upside down on the table. 2 chess pieces, 2 hours. Ask anything you want. I'll let you know. I'll tell you what I know. She changed her posture, clearly waiting for me to speak up. However, I had no intention of playing along. In the presence of an unfamiliar individual in an unfamiliar place, I had no idea. What the hell? In the presence of an unfamiliar individual in an unfamiliar place, I had no idea how many potential dangers loomed over me. Although I had so many burning questions, I wanted to get my answers while saying as little as possible. Sorry, I just need to adjust my mic for a moment here. Okay. Adjutant, I thought Katya already made it clear you want. I thought Katya already made it clear. What the hell? Am I disconnected somehow? Actually, give me just a minute. It seems YouTube's acting strange. No, I'm still alive. Okay, that's just weird. I thought Katya already made it clear you wanted. I thought Katya made it clear to you what I wanted to know. Huh, I understand. You're cautious. But do you really have to go this far just to avoid telling the truth? I'm just looking for answers, so you're up. The young woman narrowed her eyes, nonchalantly meeting my gaze. After some time, her tense shoulders suddenly relaxed. Alright. Taijin has somehow changed your body, causing you to feel things you can't understand, right? Then you could tell me when all of this first started. You've been operating in Containment Zone L for quite some time as the Heimdall Force adjutant. You never had a similar experience before? She was finally willing to play her part. As when I turned to speak, I carefully mulled over what I wanted to say. No, never. The first time I had a reaction like this was probably... Eh? Restore its glory. When I touched Ichil, I had an hallucination. What happened after that? In a hallway in the mansion, that girl named Pavlina and a guy named Arseny. The roars from a coronet shot her and ran from my eyes. She turned into something I can't even explain. Did you touch that girl, Pavlina? No, she just kept struggling in front of me. Then she dissolved away. The next time was the interrogation room in the bunker. The moment when I felt Orlava, I felt something similar, but it wasn't as strong. The last time with Katya, we had direct contact multiple times, but it seemed like she could consciously control whether or not I could see that stuff. So you're saying all these instances took place after you left Containment Zone Elf and came to Northwind Aerospace Center. I want you to think back. The first this happened, are you sure it was when you touched Ichil Gustav? Or maybe you should say it's something. It was something that was. Or maybe I should say, if something was causing a change in your body, where did it start? Where did it start? The first time? Adjutant, wake up. Are you okay? Operation Breakport. Adjutant. Was that the shot you were hit with? Half-human had to... The assassin actually used a device we never seen before when he was resisting arrest. It turned into a human Titan hybrid. Is that true, Adjutant? Even if it was, what would it imply? Are you saying the medical department at Yugoslav did something to me when I was being treated? Maybe, I can't be sure. But aren't you curious about who who sent that assassin and what kind of filth was on that bullet that was shot into you? Since you came here, someone has clearly performed the exact trick in front of you once. Connect these memories and think about it. The Quarantine reporters that turned Felina into a monster. Quarantine soldiers created a situation in which Forensi Priber's resistant soldiers would have to be executed by their own men if they were injured. The Quarantine's faction isn't protecting Omega. On the contrary, Quarantine is being controlled by Omega using Tynogen technology. The assassin who infiltrated Yggdrasil was sent by Omega. That shock changed something in my body. Dr. Tao, these are Life's treatments records for today. The medical logistics personnel were finally able to extract the remnants of the bullet from Life's body, but our research devices aren't able to deconstruct it. We can only suspect that this strange substance caused Wednesday's coma. Our researchers say there's no certainty when she'll wake up. It could be tomorrow, or it could be... It's just Tynogen that has been artificially spliced and recompiled. It's nothing out of the ordinary. Tao looked at the report from the intelligence officer, scan it for a moment, then return it. Tell medical logistics they're on the wrong track. After this long, Life's body's probably already absorbed most of this substance. Have them create a new 3-phase treatment plan. Understood, boss? Omega, you really won't stop at anything, will you? Boss? Using recompiled Tynogen to infiltrate the human body, then fill in and modify genetic defects. Theoretically, it could completely eliminate Juvosis and allow the human body to evolve into a higher level. Omega was researching this field long before he betrayed Forensi Priber and came to Yggdrasil as director. Ichio Gustav was a former experimental subject of his. Boss, there's a call coming from the military. From where? The Beowulf Battalion. It's Captain Lee Kushe. Answer it. Hello, Director Tao. Commander has decided to crack down on the situation. You can notify everyone you sent here that they can trust the military and cooperate with us. Captain Lee, can I ask you one thing? If you find Steven, get him out of yours. I can't guarantee it, but I'll try. If our intel correct, the adjutant should be in the building in front of me. No, wait, we're not done. Even the bullet that hit the adjutant contained the results of Omega's research. How does that explain the adjutant's ability to absorb Tynogen? I should have been dead a long time ago. Was this the price for my life? Yes, that's right. Even though repairing genetics defects and limiting Juvosis sounds incredible, Omega still hasn't really succeeded. Inhalation, injections, bullets, blood transfusions. He conducted countless experiments on the Eurus people with the supplies provided by Millwood at the Refugees Resettlement Committee. So far, the best results occur when the human body is kept in a symbolic state with Tynogen. Adjutant, you're likely in that state right now. To obtain this state, the incredibly rare successful subjects have to constantly ingest Tynogen to guarantee their existence remains stable. It's extremely dangerous. Too much or too little can lead to death. That's why this stuff has become the most popular item in the entirety of Northwind Aerospace Center recently. Omega is using it to slowly gain control of everyone. The tree in the containment zone is like a tree of life for him, the foundation of his renewed strength, determination, and hunger for revenge. How do you know all this? That's not something an intelligence broker would know. Heh, how do I know this? She suddenly laughed and reached out to pick up the queen chess piece. She continuously rubbed it with her long, slender fingers, staring at its smooth surface. Tell me, Adjutant, did you ever consider how this queen ended up with you? You're no intelligence broker. I'm the queen. I'm Millwood Ivanov's wife's and prisoner. When he and Omega were working together, I acted as their advisor. Oh, you're the psycho's wife. Huh, that explains everything. Thank you for turning me into a widow. Dang. Not intentionally, but you're welcome. The queen married the bishop. Huh. How ironic. There are quite a few stories. There are quite a few stories there. Feel free to let your mind run wild. You say you were Mirwood's prisoner and you shared so much information with. Is it safe to assume you want to stop Omega 2? Tell me, where is he? How do I find and stop him? Heh. You don't want to tell me, or you don't know? Your time's up, Adjutant. 2 hours. The time you brought with these pieces is already up. You. I'm an intelligence worker. We have rules. If you have more questions, you have to pay the price. And I have something else here waiting for you to buy back. What's this? An armband from the Lebanon squad of Yu-Gi-Oh! Internal Affairs Department. Sending spies to invade military-occupied region of Eurus to utilize inception, kidnapping, assassination, torture, and other methods to undermine the stability of the area and exacerbate the local crisis. You should be aware that there's an absolute information blockade of Northwind Aerospace Center, cutting it off from the outside world. If someone connects what I just said with this armband, just tell me, what the fuck do you want to know? How to control flooding. As long as you tell me in detail how to control flooding, I will ensure your safe arrival in Eurus. You still want to be the queen. I've always been the queen. You're just as insane as your husband. As soon as she finished speaking, the door opened. Several middle-aged individuals with unwelcoming faces walked in and stared at us without a word. What's all this? Are you trying to intimidate the adjutant? Looks like you have a deep misunderstanding of how the IMDL force operates. Hara sprang out and stood in front of me, holding both their pistol and dagger in her hands. She angrily scanned the intelligence brokers that had entered, but no one dared to meet her gaze. I don't care what kind of a queen you are. If you don't want to meet that scumbag Millwood in the afterlife, tell them to get the fuck out. I observed each of their faces as Haru threatened them, realizing that their expressions were strange. Even the queen in front of me looked completely confused. Wait, Haru. Naruse Haru, put down your weapons. Captain Lee Couché. Lee Couché from the Beowulf Battalion stepped through the door as her voice sounded, followed by a small squad of fully armed soldiers. Queen Rosa Ivanov, we have reason to suspect you and your... We have reason to suspect you and your husband, Millwood Ivanov, are in violations of Item 5, Item 11, and Item 23 of Ordinance 3, Article 7 of the Eurus Military Occupied Zone. It seems like Lee Couché came prepared. I told her what happened in the canyon of the parish before, and this seemed like a sort of response. We must find out who was behind this mysterious message that lured us here. Take them all away. Yes, Captain. You. I didn't think the famous Heimdall adjutant would be one to recklessly get dragged around by other people. Yeah. What a coincidence. I thought it wasn't either. As Hara and I followed Lee Couché out of the building and emerged once again into Black Ice Alley, we saw that the entire road was now under military control. This is a bit heavy-handed. The Coordinate faction is attacking Duchess Orlava's bunker with all their might. General Adrian gave our forces in the rear military-occupied zone the special permission to send 4 battalions to Northwind Aerospace Center. They will first attempt to gain control of everything outside Containment Zone 91. A military representative is currently getting ready to negotiate with Director Tao. We are unable to contact Orlava. Our intel says she left the bunker a long time ago. Our next step is to locate her. With the situation at Northwind Aerospace Center, she needs to take a certain amount of responsibility. While with the Carney Faction Command in Omega, shouldn't they be held responsible? Only those qualified to negotiate at the table will be invited to sit down and talk it out. There's only one thing to do to those who aren't. Fight. It's clear that you guys are most responsible for this. Why wait until now to take action? You're right, but the more responsibility you have, the tighter the shackles. And I didn't intend on following you from Oswald Steel Mill to Northwind Aerospace Center. So I suggest you get out of this place as soon as possible. Stop interfering with the politics of yours and on Yggdrasil's behalf. I didn't interfere with any politics here, Captain Lee. I came here to deal with the tree. We worked together before. You know full well that time to only handle those problems relates to Titans. And did you figure out how to deal with it? I'm still working on it. Before I even realized, we had reached the end of the Black Ice Alley. The entrance to the bunker was up ahead. Lee Couche stood still and gazed at me deeply. Leave here as soon as you can. Leave here so you can take your time figuring it out, Adjutant. You can't fix the problem here and now. Leave it to Naruse Haru. The rest of the Beowulf's Battalion will resolve the situation here. You guys have no idea what you're up against. You don't know how fucking insane Omega is and what he's done. I can arrange transportation and a squad escort you to the Yggdrasil branch office at the Eurus border. Yeah, no, sorry, lady. Whatever you or Tal had in mind, yeah. You can't. There's no way you stand a chance against Omega. My patience and what I can do both have limits, Adjutant. If you really want to help, bring your men back to the bunker with me. I need to recover one of my operatives and get a high-value target out of there. Absolutely not. My soldiers can't engage in combat with the Carney faction without official orders. Then sayonara, Captain Lee. I hope your later negotiations go smoother than ours just did. She was an excellent soldier, and I couldn't understand where she's coming from. But there can be sometimes too many barriers to get from mutual understandings to actual cooperation. It was an unavoidable yet regrettable fact. Adjutant, Katya is missing. She didn't come with us. I knew it. I thought she had just been hiding from Captain Luce and her soldiers, but she still hadn't showed up. That means she was acting on her own again. Contact her and explain the situation. At this point, we could use all the help we get. And where's Tess? You still can't contact her? The bunker was already filled with the sound of shooting. As Haru shook her head silently, my heart sank even deeper. Come on, let's go find. Just I want to attempt to comfort both Haru and myself so we could better face this complex situation. Intense shaking suddenly began to spread from the end of the hallway to our feet. Actually, be careful. The body shook with a powerful tremors under my feet, causing me to lose my balance and fall to the ground. Haru rushed over to try and catch me, but the explosion flung her away. It's the penetrator bomb. Adjutant, run! The massive explosion almost rendered me deaf. As I fell to my knees, I watched Haru open her mouth, trying to say something, and she attempted to run toward me. Next second, I felt nothing beneath my feet. I fell into an unknown along with the rubble and crumbling bricks. Yeah, that's just great. All right. Speaking of life.
覚悟なしに戦場に踏み入る。
テス、今どこにいる？
よくわからないの。この要塞はまるで迷宮みたい。でも敵はいないし空っぽだ。
this.
情報。
どうしよう。どこも敵が見張ってて出られないよ。もうどこ行っちゃったの分析。
そこで隠れてろ。絶対に出るな。なんとか迎えに行く。いいか、あいつらは本物の戦闘狂だ。もし敵に遭遇したらまずは逃げることを考えろ。絶対に敵に立ち向かうなよ。
終わらせる。また出るだろうからよく覚えておく。目標達成。指示を待つ。
Keep going, alright.
補給は回収した。予備は十分にある。目標の排除を確認。ここか。
間違いないよ、この近く。
悪党どもは全て切り伏せる。目標の排除を確認。役に立たない。
Fuck off there.
またで目標達成。
Slot you to the edge right there. Alright, looks like we're in the boss boy.
やはりこっちの方が落ち着くな。
This is just a squad. No, never mind. We're stuck with those two. Where's it go?
覚悟なしに戦場に踏み入るしか。
何これ。
これは佐賀か。一位先進。改造されている。まさか新型。この技術を手に入れてからまだ半年も経ってないのにもう実戦に投入してるのか。
ようこそデスの魔法の世界へ。
戦況をよく見ろ。迅速に交代するべきだった。敵手終わらせる。弱点か。予備は十分にある。
Sorry. Oh shit.
本日のラッキーさんは君だ。
全てすべて。
ハルさん、こっちは屈点かけてるよ。
弱点を狙え。あの目だ。予備は十分にある。 全てをすべる。お前にふさわしい場所はバルハラ。
And down you go. Ow.
私たちを阻める者はいないな、分析員。
Speaking of Life and Eve sharing the same voice actors, yeah, the UK collaboration event with Stellar Blades events now archived in the UK, and there's a rerun happening right now, or at least at the time of this framework video. All right, 2 more cutscenes. Adjutant! Thank goodness you're okay. I was so scared when it collapsed. I thought you... She threw her arms around me in desperation, holding me tightly as her tears soaked in my chest. Hey, why are you crying? I'm okay, aren't I? Alright, everyone's watching. You should be thanking someone else for saving me anyways. Look over at Katya, who is unsurprisingly snickering. Even so, there was a thinly veiled exhaustion in her smile. No, keep going. Pretend I'm not even here. Why? We already know you're watching anyways. Katya Klein. Thank you for saving the adjutant. Hara stepped forward, walked over to Katya and reached out to her as she sat on the ground. I was just returning the favor. I owe him 2 lives. And that was one of them. I can hope I can pay the other one back quickly so we're all even. She looked at me, avoiding Haru's hand. Her blue eyes sparkled, putting me in somewhat of a trance. I said, thank you for saving the adjutant. He's going to tease your stubbornness, Naruse Haru. That adjutant isn't as he looks. Her words were cold, but Katya reached out to grab Haru's hand, allowing her to help her up. Miss Katya? The adjutant said you guys talked, and that you were willing to help us find Ichigo and Omega. Did you just save the adjutant again? We're pretty much squad mates now. You guys are pretty funny. Huh? We almost died, but you didn't ask where we are. And you didn't even care how dangerous it is. One is getting sentimental, the other is blushing while she tries to make up with me. Did you guys forget that we still have to get Ichigo back and handle Omega? Katya seemed quite relaxed now. After mellowing out, the unruly energy presented in her personality was even more apparent. If I remember correctly, this is Omega's territory. His territory? The heart of the Northwind Aerospace Center, smack dab in the middle of Containment Zone 91. Zuzdal Launch Base. The tree you need to take care of. The tree you need to take care of is here too, Steven. That old scumbag has no clue. That old scumbag probably has no clue the henchman he sent after us would actually lead us right under his own lair. In the depths of her cramped lab, the small girl sat inside some kind of further convoluted experimental equipment. She squeezed her eyes shut, gritted her teeth as she tried to endure the unbearable pain. Yes, that's it. I was right from the very beginning. You should thank me, Omega. If I hadn't kept those control parameters, if I hadn't refused to give up on them, would you have even come close to what you have today? Well done. You've done excellent work here. As long as you keep this place safe and prevent anyone from disturbing me and my equipment, I'll be able to give you one I'll give you one very soon. No, not one. I can give you several countless pistols to use. Achieving immortality is simple narrow-minded desire. It is the spirit instinctively crying out, trapped within the cage of flesh. Once this experiment is completed, our wish will be within our grasp, within the boundary between human and Titan. We will find a new, eternal existence. So-called evolution, becoming a god, will no longer be out of reach. The future of mankind is in our hands. The fanatical doctor continued to murmur himself, alludes to the insidious expression on the other man's face. As the latter walked away, there was a chill in his footsteps. Looks like I should congratulate you in advance, Omega. You created quite a bit of hope. You look good, Omega. Much better than when we saw you. Much better than we saw you last. There's your bumbling sarcasm. Oh, my controller's off. Oh shit, it's out of batteries. Anyways, there's your bubbling sarcasm. You're getting more immature the longer you live. I'm glad to see you regain some of your confidence. If you're really glad, don't make that face. Don't worry, even if I'm successful, I won't steal any medical business from you. But you be stealing the battle Atlas Thunder, won't you? Excuse me. A human Titan fusion to Titan will allow to cure genetic defects, eliminate juvosis, and utilize its own flesh to evolve into a higher being. If we really get to that point, manifestations will lose all purpose. You're excited about that prospect, aren't you? Naturally. Wouldn't you all agree? Otherwise, you wouldn't have supported me this long. For a long while, we were blinded by our own indulgence in Tao and our obsession with the Heimdall Force. It caused us to cut ourselves off from the true path to evolution. That woman banished us, humiliated us, and nailed us to a pillar of shame, directed the ire of the entire world at us. But she isn't aware of the consequences of her behavior. She doesn't even know that it was her very betrayal that inspired us to find this new direction. Rejoice, friends! The day our long-held wish will be fulfilled is fast approaching. I will do everything in my power to establish the new eternal power. Just thinking about it makes me ecstatic. Yggdrasil will crumble in the face of our eternal life and power. And so will that woman's rotten, filthy, twisted corpse. Wait, I still don't get it. Are you saying the adjutant and Director Tao might have been tricked? Yeah, we've been duped. If she's right, then it's not only a possibility, it's certain. Operation Breakpoint. Has Omega been playing this since then? Wouldn't surprise me. Even worse, not just Omega. It would be hard for him to organize everything on his own. There isn't a single person on the former board who isn't involved in this. Even if they didn't actually plant any moles inside the company, they would have just needed to spread the word. Then, knowing how cautious and distrustful Tao is, she would have certainly been led to believe there were vestiges of the board within the company. Once you have that kind of power, you can never relax, especially if you are the only one wielding that power. In that kind of situation, you were the only one she could trust even. So Director Talon actually chose to send the adjutant instead of the security department to conduct Operation Breakpoint and weed out any enemies within the company. And Omega's assassin made his move in Yggdrasil headquarters building while the adjutant was performing the mission. No matter if I ended up dead or alive, that action in itself must have made Tao even more suspicious of the company's internals. She doesn't handle this stuff well. Once that doubt enters her mind, she'll use the most brash means to handle it. If I had died, Heimdall wouldn't have had a leader, and she wouldn't have been able to find a suitable replacement on short notice. Heimdall's force will inevitably struggle too. The Heimdall force will inevitably struggle to function. But trees were popping up all over the world back then. trees were popping up all over the world back then. Titanship was becoming a problem for all of humankind. You've seen how much intelligence somewhere like a Black Ice Alley holds? There's always be people like Millwood willing to work with Omega, spread the news of your death. Your soul's reputation and credibility would definitely take a hit. And even if I survived the assassination, Omega knew that she needed to find someone to work for her as soon as possible. She would be worried about the security within Yggdrasil, and she'd find a way to send me away while she ensured that the company was safe. I know her, but the board knows her better. Yeah, I know her, but the board knows her even better. In her eyes, how far does she need to go before she can ensure the company is safe? That's why she created internal affairs of the band squad. She even transferred me back here, ordered me to escort Icho back to yours with you. You're not the only one who wants to understand everything that's happened recently. With you on the outside and me on the inside, we need to work together to find the truth. Unbelievable! She should have been upfront with me from the very beginning. Well, that's our boss for you. That wouldn't work. If the bait knows that it's bait, then when the fish prepares to bite, won't it try to escape or resist? If we think about it that way, one aspect stands out being really suspicious, maybe even intentional. Icho. It's like she fell right out of the sky and right out of the sky and into our laps. What's wrong with Icho? Nothing. It's just the timing of her appearance was too much of a coincidence. As soon as the adjutant had recovered from his injuries, he received intel that captured Ichil. Coincidentally, Duchess Orlava struck a deal with Director Tao, and we needed someone to escort Ichil. The adjutant could use this mission as an excuse to leave headquarters without arousing suspicion. Tess, you've been active on the border reach for a while. Do you really believe Ichil could be captured at any time? If it really was that easy, she would have fallen into someone else's hand a long time ago. That's why I've been always suspicious of Orlava. That life box's hand are just as dirty as Omega's. And I'm positive there's Titanogen inside of her. Well, that explains a lot. Here, I found this in her mansion. What's this? No idea, but it was hidden really well, so it's probably not a piece of junk. Let's go. I think I remember how this place is set up. I need to get you guys out of here first. At the very least, we need to locate a clean quarantine room before I can think about our next steps. Clean quarantine room? Baka. Or, sorry. Or idiot. Stupid idiot. This place is chock full of high concentrated Titanogen. Hadn't you noticed that your operators are gritting their teeth? I was startled by the change in her tone. With Katya's reminder, I suddenly realized that hard, intense expression looked somewhat uncomfortable. However, what made me even more uneasy was the fact that my body was clearly weaker than my squad mates. So if there really was high concentrated hydrogen everywhere here, like Katya said, but why don't I feel anything? Oh? She suddenly looked at me with weary gaze. The golden light seemingly shone in her blue eyes. I remember that light. It was the same light that appeared in her eyes when she guided me in absorbing the fragmented Titanogen in the bunker. Interesting. In that case, you might really be able to take care of that tree. But now it's even more important when we get that girl back. And that would be for next time, but we got one more cutscene left. General, our meeting with Yggdrasil is about to begin. Are you sure? Are you sure you'd like to attend? I recommend the meeting to be limited to myself and staff representative this time. If you were to attend, the quarantine faction's atrocious actions might negatively affect you. Avoiding this won't solve the problem. Now that we've decided to deal with this, we need to do it properly. This issue, the issue at Northwind Aerospace Center, requires aid from Yggdrasil. I need to understand their position and demands for myself. Yes, sir. Understood. General, Major, the communication has been set up. The other party has arrived. We can begin at any time. Remember, make concessions when you need to, and take responsibility when you should. But yours is a military-occupied region. We, not Yggdrasil, we need to maintain dominance. Understood. Director Tao, we are ready to begin. Please wait a moment. Sirius, take Marion with you to handle the mission that I just assigned you to. Take Marion with you to handle the mission that I just assigned to you. If necessary, utilize her family cathode technology intelligence network. They had no substantial connection to anyone on the former board. You should be able to depend on them for help. Understood. We'll find every last one of Omega's hiding places. Caroline, notify all Heimdall operatives to rendezvous here. Understood, boss. Put me through. What are you two still doing here? Where else would we be? We've been here every day since the adjutant went to Eurus. What's going on here? Whatever it is, I don't care, I'm busy. I don't want to bother you guys either, but we're just missing you two. The boss is meeting with the military higher-ups in her office to discuss a resolution of the issue at Northwind Aerospace Center. All operatives need to be present. I did my job. It's up to you guys if you go or not. Before Caroline could finish speaking, the medical bay flew open. A blonde lioness stood in the hallway, furious. The military! I didn't even sell my scarf down, and now they're showing their faces first? The situation only got to this point because they've been sitting on their hands doing nothing. If the adjutant so much as missing a hair on his head when he comes back, so help me. Benny, you're way too loud. Let's go. Hey, so you guys, hey, what did you think we've been doing here? Hiding out? Alright, now that everyone's here. Less than half a year after you were provided with the Saga technology, dangerous entities like the Carne faction were allowed to get their hands on it and even modify it. It was even used to harm the Heimdall adjutant and operatives. Yggdrasil has reason to believe there are severe management issues with the military. You need to come up with an effective plan to win back our trust. If you can't ensure the safety of our Heimdall operatives, how can you expect us to enter Eurus to clean up this mess for you? Ji Shenxing, please watch your tone. You don't want to know what happened we did with Dorothy. You want to talk about management issues? Speaking of internal mismanagement, shouldn't you still take some responsibility for the heinous events that have taken place at Northwind Aerospace Center? Omega was a former director on your board. His misuse of technology and information obtained from Yggdrasil led to an abnormal appearance of the tree in the Containment Zone 91 and the spread of Typhlosion. And now he's triggered an insurrection by the entire Carne force that we garrison in the district. Why should I believe you? Why should I believe you aren't the one pulling the strings? Hey, I dare you say that one more time! The meeting was already tense. When Shenxing pressured the military representative, her opponent was seemingly determined to shift the responsibility onto Yggdrasil. But suddenly the office door swung open, Benny defiant smirk and Kashi's signature sigh interrupted the standoff. Hey, you in the uniform, you like to slap the table, huh? In that case? Is this a meeting or a court? It's pretty much both at this point. Hey, slow down, you're still weak. And Kashi grappled behind Benny, sparring a tall figure as she walked in. Life, you! Life Bezla. With Kashi apart, the former Battle Idol champion walked in slowly, with a weak but determined stride. While everyone's present couldn't help but stare at her own awe, her own gaze pierced through them to another space at another time. Awakening at this time. Do you intend to save him, Odin? It's a pity, But all humans are destined to enter Valhalla. You can't save him or anyone else. That tree will soon swallow Eurus whole. About the adjutant, you can't do anything other than wait for death. So shut your fucking mouth. Let the Heimdall Force tell you how to really solve this problem. And that's it. That is the Ballad of Chaos, or part 1. Yep. That's part 1 of chapter 12. And then the next chapter is, part 2 is Skyward Blaze, as we conclude the Eurus part of the story. And after that is New Hintiro, and then after that, Shuzo. So, that's it. Well, looks like we're gonna looks like we're wrapping this up here, so. Get my controller. Alright, so that wraps up Snowbreak, and we're gonna come back to this next time, of course. And then we're gonna have to wait till next month to see. Oh, I know, we still have a couple weeks left before May's over, so. Yeah, we'll see, things will go from there, so. Hope you guys enjoyed this stream or this video kind of this. I'm Steve, and I'll see you guys next time.